Welcome, traveler. The campfire is lit, the autumn wind is picking up, and the night belongs to us once more. Tonight's tale begins not with adventure, not with glory, not with those charming medieval market scenes from movies where everyone's clean and the produce is suspiciously perfect, but with medieval market day, the real version, where your profit margin is razor thin. Half the customers are trying to scam you, the guild inspectors are circling like hawks, and that nice wool merchant 3 stalls down is absolutely selling you sheep fur passed off as premium fabric. You're a merchant. Specifically, you're a cloth merchant in 1345 York. Every Thursday, the market opens. Every Thursday, you haul your inventory to your assigned stall in Pavement Square. Every Thursday, you spend 12 hours haggling, defending your prices, watching for thieves, and praying the guild inspectors don't find that one piece of fabric that's maybe slightly under the legal width requirement. Maybe, allegedly, you measured it in bad light. Good news, market day is how you survive. It's your income, your livelihood, the difference between eating and starving. Bad news, everyone else at this market is also trying to survive. The competition is cutthroat. The customers are suspicious. The regulations are Byzantine. The inspectors are merciless. And that's before we get to the pickpockets, the fraudulent waits, the food vendors selling mystery meat pies, and the casual violence that erupts when someone gets caught cheating. Spoiler, someone always gets caught cheating. Before we dive in, light that like button. Subscribe if you enjoy this kind of historical exploration. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and what medieval topic you want examined next. The comments section is where the real discussions happen. Join us. Dim the lights, get comfortable, settle in. Let's open for business. Congratulations, you've spawned as a medieval cloth merchant. No startup capital from wealthy parents, no business degree, no accounting software. Just you, your inventory, your stall, and your ability to convince people that your wool is worth what you're charging. Which it is. Probably. Mostly. It's Wednesday night, 1345, York. You're in your workshop, 2 rooms above a baker's shop, rent costs you 3 shillings per month, absolutely eating into your profits, and you're preparing for tomorrow's market. This isn't casual preparation. This is war planning. You're checking every piece of cloth, every yard, every measurement. Why? Because if you bring fabric to market that's even half an inch under the legal width, the guild inspectors will fine you. They'll confiscate the cloth. They'll publicly shame you. Your reputation? Cooked. Your business? Finished. All because of half an inch. The legal width for standard wool cloth is 1 yard, 36 inches, not 35.5, not 35.7, 36. You measure 3 times. You measure in good light. You measure with the measuring stick the guild provided, not your own stick. Because if you're caught using a stick that's even slightly shorter to make your fabric appear regulation width, that's fraud. That's a fine. That's possibly the stocks. Very precise, very stressful, very medieval capitalism. You're folding cloth. You've got 15 pieces of wool, standard grade, decent quality, nothing fancy but nothing terrible. You've got 5 pieces of linen. You've got 2 pieces of silk that cost you more than you want to think about, and if you don't sell them tomorrow, you're going to have a serious cash flow problem. Each piece gets folded carefully, displayed properly, the good side showing. Hide the imperfections. Everyone does this. It's not fraud, it's marketing. There's a difference. Allegedly. Your wife is packing the food. Bread, cheese, small beer. You'll be at market from dawn to dusk. 12 to 14 hours, no breaks. Can't leave your stall unattended. Thieves will steal everything that isn't nailed down, and possibly the nails too. You eat standing up, you drink standing up. The bathroom situation, you hold it. For 12 hours, there's a public latrine 3 streets away, but leaving your stall means losing sales or losing inventory to theft. Choose your suffering. Thursday morning, 4 in the morning, still dark. You're awake. You have to be at the market before dawn to claim your spot. York's Thursday market is competitive. Show up late? Your usual spot is taken. You're stuck in a terrible location. Back corner. No foot traffic. No sales. Disaster. You load the cart. Your apprentice, 13-year-old Thomas, decent kid, learning the trade, occasionally drops things in ways that make your soul leave your body, helps you load. 15 pieces of wool. 5 linen. 2 silk. Your scales for weighing. Your measuring stick. Your coin purse with your starting capital, 2 pounds in mixed silver pennies, some half pennies, some farthings. You'll need to make change all day. Medieval customers never have exact change. Never. The cart is heavy. You're pulling it yourself. Thomas pushes from behind. The streets are dark. The cobblestones are uneven. You trip. The cart lurches. You hear something shift. Please don't let the silk fall in a puddle. Please. You can't afford to replace it. You arrive at Pavement Square at 5 in the morning. Still dark. Already crowded. Merchants everywhere. Claiming spots. Setting up stalls. Arguing about boundaries. Your spot, 3rd row, decent visibility, near the bread vendors, which means good foot traffic is still available. Victory. Small victory. You'll take it. You set up. The stall is simple. Wooden frame. Fabric draped over the top for weather protection. Your cloth displayed on the counter. The expensive silk in the back. You'll bring it out when someone actually looks wealthy enough to afford it. The wool and linen up front. This is your storefront, your brand. Your economic survival depending on a wooden table and some fabric. Other merchants are setting up around you. To your left, Agnes the bread vendor. Makes excellent bread, charges fair prices, good neighbor. To your right, Robert, wool merchant. Your direct competition. Sells slightly lower quality than you, but undercuts your prices. You hate Robert. Robert probably hates you. You smile and nod. Very professional, very medieval. 6 in the morning. The sun is rising. The market bell rings. The market is officially open. The crowd arrives. Congratulations. You're in business. The customers are coming. They're touching your fabric. They're asking prices. They're haggling before you've even stated the price. They're insulting your merchandise to justify paying less. Welcome to medieval retail. It's exactly as fun as it sounds. First customer. A woman. Middle-aged. Needs wool for a winter cloak. She picks up a piece, examines it, rubs it between her fingers, holds it up to the light. She knows fabric. This is dangerous. Knowledgeable customers are harder to negotiate with. How much? She asks. 8 pence per yard, you say. This is fair. This is market rate. This is what this quality of wool costs. 8 pence? She looks offended, personally attacked, like you just insulted her entire family. Robert next door sells for 7. Robert sells inferior wool. You know this. She knows this. Robert knows this. But she's using Robert's price as leverage. Smart. Robert's wool is lighter weight, you say. Mine is denser, warmer, better for winter. She examines it again. 6 pence. 6 pence is robbery. That's below cost. You'd lose money. 7 pence. Final offer. She considers, thinks, calculates. 6.5. Medieval haggling. Everything is negotiable. Every transaction is a battle. Your profit margin is shrinking with every counteroffer. You consider. The silk in the back isn't selling. You need cash flow. You need sales. 7 pence, you repeat. This quality, that's fair. She walks away. She might come back. She might not. This is the game. Hold firm on prices, risk losing sales. Drop prices, risk losing profit. There's no winning, just different types of losing. Second customer. A man, young, looks at the linen. How much? 10 pence per yard. Too expensive. He leaves. 30 seconds. 0 effort to negotiate. Just gone. Third customer. An older man. Well-dressed. Finally, someone with money. He's looking at your wool, examining it carefully. He knows quality. This is nice work, he says. Where's the silk? You bring out the silk. 2 pieces. 1 deep blue, 1 burgundy. Beautiful fabric. Cost you 18 shillings total. You need to sell them for at least 24 shillings to make profit worth the risk. He examines the blue silk, holds it up. The light catches it. Gorgeous. How much? 12 shillings per piece. He doesn't flinch. Good sign. He can afford it. I'll give you 20 shillings for both. Math time. 20 shillings total. That's 2 shillings profit on 18 shillings investment. Roughly 11% profit. Not great, but it moves inventory. It frees up capital. It means you're not sitting on expensive silk that might not sell. 22 shillings. You counter. 21. You've been here 30 minutes, and you're already negotiating the biggest sale of the day potentially. 21 and 6 pence. He smiles. 21. Final offer. You think 21 shillings. 3 shillings profit. That's 14% profit margin. That's acceptable. Not great, but acceptable. Done. He pays 21 shillings in silver pennies. You count carefully. Twice. Customers sometimes shortchange you. Not always intentionally. Sometimes they genuinely miscount. Sometimes they're testing whether you're paying attention. You're always paying attention. The count is correct. 21 shillings. The silk is his. First major sale. 35 minutes into market day. You've cleared 18 shillings in debt and made 3 shillings profit. Not bad. The day is looking up. Wait until you hear about the pickpocket situation. The market is filling up. Hundreds of people, maybe thousands. Thursday market in York is major. People come from surrounding villages. Farmers selling produce. Bakers selling bread. Butchers selling meat. The smell is something. Leather workers. Potters. Fishmongers. The smell is worse. Cloth merchants like you. Jewelers. Spice merchants. Basically, if you can sell it, someone's selling it here. The crowd is opportunity. More customers, more sales, more profit. The crowd is also danger. More thieves, more pickpockets, more fraud, more chaos. You're watching your stall, constantly. Your eyes scan the crowd. You're looking for hands that move too quickly, people who get too close, groups that might be working together. One distracts, one steals. This is constant vigilance. 12 hours of this. Your neck is going to hurt tonight. A young person approaches your stall, maybe 7 years old, reaches for a piece of linen. Don't touch, you say. Firm, not mean, just clear. The hand withdraws. They move away. Were they a thief? Maybe. Maybe just curious. Maybe working with adults. You can't know. You can't risk it. Trust no one. Medieval retail is paranoid retail. Agnes, next door, is selling bread. The smell is incredible. Fresh bread, still warm. Your stomach growls. You ate at 4 in the morning. It's now 7. You're hungry. The bread is right there, 3 feet away. You can't leave to buy bread. Can't leave your stall. Thomas is here. He's watching while you negotiate, but he's 13. Thieves will take advantage. Agnes sees you looking. She's a good neighbor. She hands you a small loaf. 2 pence, she says. Pay me later. Medieval credit system. Community trust. You'll pay her. She knows you'll pay her. This is how the market works. Relationships matter. You eat bread while watching your stall. Multitasking. Very efficient. Very undignified. A guild inspector appears. Your blood pressure spikes. The guild inspector is Brother William. Older man. Former merchant himself. Now enforces York's merchant guild regulations. His job, ensure everyone follows the rules. Proper measurements. Honest weights. Correct quality. No fraud. Your job, pass inspection. Because if you don't, you're fined. Or worse. Brother William approaches your stall. Good morning, he says. Polite. Professional. About to potentially ruin your entire day. Good morning, Brother William, you reply. Equally polite. Definitely nervous. He picks up a piece of wool. Examines it. Takes out his measuring stick, the official guild measuring stick, exactly 1 yard, certified and sealed. He measures your cloth. You watch. You measured this yourself. 3 times. It should be fine. It has to be fine. He measures 36 inches. Exact. He nods. Good. He checks another piece. Another. All correct. All legal width. He examines the quality, rubs the fabric, checks for thin spots, checks for poor weaving. Your work is solid. You're not cutting corners. Much. Acceptable quality, he says. Carry on. He moves to Robert's stall. You exhale. You passed. Your cloth is legal. Your measurements are correct. You're in compliance. For now. Robert next door? Not as lucky. Brother William is measuring Robert's wool. The measuring stick says 35 3/4 inches. Under regulation. This is undersized, Brother William says. Loud enough for nearby merchants to hear. Robert protests. I measured it myself. It was correct. It's not correct now. Fine, incoming. Robert is arguing. The argument is not going well. Brother William is confiscating the undersized cloth. Robert's face is red. His day is ruined. His reputation is damaged. You feel bad for Robert. You also feel relieved it's not you. The market continues. More customers. More haggling. More sales. A woman buys 3 yards of wool for 6 pence per yard. You held firm on price, she paid it. A man buys linen for 9 pence per yard. A teenager buys half a yard of wool for household repairs. You're making sales. Steady sales. Your coin purse is getting heavier. This is good. This is why you're here. Mid-morning. Maybe 9 o'clock. The food vendors are busy. The smell of meat pies fills the air. Mystery meat. You don't ask what's in them. You don't want to know. Could be pork. Could be mutton. Could be something that was alive last week and is now heavily spiced to hide questionable freshness. A commotion erupts 3 stalls down. Shouting. A crowd gathering. You can't see what's happening, but you hear it. Thief. Thief. Someone got caught stealing. The crowd is angry. Medieval justice is crowd justice. The merchant whose goods were stolen is yelling. The thief sounds like a young man is being held by several people. The city bailiff is coming. This is going to get violent. You watch from your stall. Can't leave. Can't get involved. Just watch. The bailiff arrives. Grabs the thief. The crowd is shouting suggestions. Most involve physical punishment. The stocks are mentioned. Public humiliation. The bailiff drags the thief away. You return to your customers. A woman is examining your linen. She didn't ask permission. She's just touching it. Stretching it. Testing it. Careful, you say. If you damage it, you buy it. She glares at you. Puts it down. Leaves. Charming. Very charming interaction. Thomas returns from his break. He went to the public latrine. Lucky him. You're still holding it. Your bladder is making its opinions known. You ignore it. Another 6 hours to go. Noon approaches. The market is at peak chaos. Maximum crowd. Maximum noise. Maximum opportunity. Maximum stress. Your morning sales, 2 pieces of silk sold together, 21 shillings, 4 pieces of wool at various prices, approximately 2 shillings total, 2 pieces of linen, 18 pence total. You're doing well. Better than some days, not as well as you'd hoped. The silk sale saved you. You've still got 9 pieces of wool, 3 pieces of linen, plenty of inventory, plenty of time to sell. Afternoon will bring different customers, different challenges, different opportunities. The guild inspector will probably make another round. The pickpockets are still working the crowd, and you still need to use the bathroom. Welcome to Medieval Market Day. We're 4 hours in, 8 more to go. The vibes are absolutely chaotic. The profit margin is thin. The competition is brutal. But at least you're not Robert. Robert's having a worse day. Robert got caught with undersized cloth and everyone saw it. Very embarrassing, very expensive, very on brand for medieval commerce. The afternoon shift begins. Noon has passed. You've been standing for 6 hours. Your feet hurt. Your back hurts. Your bladder is staging a full revolt. You're ignoring all of it because 3 customers are examining your wool simultaneously, and if you leave now, you'll lose sales. Customer 1. Older woman needs fabric for household linens. She's squeezing every piece of wool like she's checking fruit for ripeness. Very thorough, very time-consuming. Customer 2, middle-aged man, looking for fabric for a new tunic. He keeps asking if you have cheaper options. You don't. This is your inventory. These are your prices. He's not accepting this. Customer 3, young woman, maybe 20, actually has money and is seriously considering the burgundy linen. This is your best prospect. Focus here. You're juggling 3 conversations. Medieval multitasking. This wool is how much per yard? Woman 1, 6 pence, you say. Robert sells for 5, she counters. Robert again. Robert is your nemesis. Robert got fined this morning and he's still undercutting your prices from beyond the regulatory grave. Robert's cloth is thinner. You explain. Again. For the 100th time today. Meanwhile, customer 2, don't you have anything cheaper? That's my cheapest wool, you say. 5 pence per yard. Too expensive. But he's not leaving. He's still looking. This is the dance. Complain about price. Keep shopping. Eventually buy something. Customer 3, the promising one. This linen is beautiful. How much? 10 pence per yard. Please buy it. Please. She considers, examines it closely, rubs it between fingers, holds it to light. She knows quality. I'll take 2 yards. Victory. 20 pence. Solid sale. You measure carefully. 2 yards exactly. You cut the fabric. She pays 20 pence in silver pennies. You count. Correct amount. Transaction complete. 1 sale down. 2 customers still browsing. The older woman decides. I'll take 3 yards of the 6 pence wool. 18 pence. Another good sale. You measure. Cut. She pays. Counts out 18 pennies. 1. Buy. 1. This takes forever. Medieval payment processing is not fast. The middle-aged man is still complaining about prices. You've lost patience. 5 pence per yard is the price, you say. Firm? Final. I can't go lower. He grumbles. Leaves. No sale. You've lost some sales by holding firm on prices. You've also maintained your profit margin. This is the trade-off. Thomas is watching the stall. You finally take a bathroom break. The public latrine is 3 streets away. You're walking fast, very fast. You've been holding it for 7 hours. The latrine is exactly as terrible as you remember. It's a pit. Literally. A deep pit with wooden seats over it. The smell could wake the dead. Probably is waking the dead. The dead are probably complaining. Medieval sanitation. Not it. You finish. Return to your stall. Thomas hasn't burned anything down. No inventory stolen. Minor miracle. The afternoon crowd is different from the morning crowd. More workers finishing their jobs, more people with wages to spend, more potential customers, but also more drunks. The taverns have been open since noon. Some people have been drinking. Some people are very drunk. A drunk man approaches your stall, sways, grabs the edge of your table for balance. Your entire display shifts. You steady it before anything falls. How much for the red cloth? He slurs. You don't have red cloth. You have burgundy linen. You have various shades of brown and gray wool. Nothing red. I don't have red cloth, you say. That one. He points at the burgundy linen. The red one. It's burgundy. Not red. But arguing with drunk people is pointless. 10 pence per yard. I'll give you 4 pence. 4 pence is insulting. That's 60% below asking price. 10 pence. You repeat. He fumbles in his purse, pulls out coins, drops several. They scatter on the ground. He bends to pick them up, nearly falls over. This is painful to watch. He gives up on the dropped coins, staggers away. You pick up the dropped coins. 3 pennies on the ground. You look around. No one's claiming them. Finders, keepers. 3 extra pennies. Not much, but you'll take it. A food vendor walks past, selling meat pies, hot, fresh, smelling absolutely incredible and simultaneously suspicious. Meat pies, fresh today, only 1 penny. 1 penny is cheap. Suspiciously cheap. What kind of meat costs 1 penny? You're not asking. You're not buying. You have your bread from Agnes. That's safer. Thomas buys a pie. He's 13. He'll eat anything. He bites into it. Chews. His face does something complicated. It's fine, he says, unconvincingly. The meat is mystery meat. Could be anything. Medieval food safety standards? Never heard of her. 2 women approach your stall. Well-dressed. Servants, probably. Shopping for their employer. They're examining the linen. Both pieces. Very interested. We need 4 yards total, one says. Best price? 4 yards of linen at 10 pence per yard is 40 pence. That's 3 shillings and 4 pence. Significant sale. 9 pence per yard if you buy 4, you offer. Discount for bulk. Standard practice. They confer. Whisper. Calculate. 8 pence per yard. 8 pence is low, but 4 yards moves inventory. That's 32 pence total. 2 shillings and 8 pence. Acceptable. Deal. They're pleased. You're pleased. Everyone wins. You measure 4 yards carefully. Cut precisely. They pay. 32 pennies. You count. Correct. They leave happy. You've now sold 6 pieces of linen out of your original 5. Wait. Math error. You had 5 pieces. You've sold 4 yards from 2 pieces. You have 3 pieces plus partial yardage remaining. The mental accounting is getting complicated. You'll reconcile everything tonight. The guild inspector returns. Brother William. Again, making his afternoon rounds. He's checking the bread vendors now, watching them weigh loaves, ensuring honest weights. Medieval consumer protection is serious business. Fraud is everywhere. The guild fights constant battles against cheaters. A bread vendor, not Agnes. Someone else is getting inspected. Brother William has official weights, lead weights, certified by the guild. He's comparing the bread weight to what the vendor claimed. The bread is light, underweight. This loaf is supposed to weigh 1 pound, Brother William says. It weighs 14 ounces, the vendor protests. The oven was hot. Some moisture evaporated. Then you account for that in your pricing or your portions. Brother William is not sympathetic. This is fraud. Fine incoming. The vendor is arguing. The argument is futile. Brother William has the official weights. The evidence is clear. The fine will be paid. You watch. You're glad you're not a bread vendor. Weight fraud is easier to prove than quality fraud. Your fabric quality is somewhat subjective. Bread weight is mathematics. Mathematics is merciless. A young boy, maybe 10 years old, is moving through the crowd. Too purposefully, too focused. You've seen this before. Pickpocket. He's watching a wealthy merchant 2 stalls down. The merchant is distracted, haggling with a customer. His coin purse hangs from his belt. Accessible. Tempting. The boy moves closer. Casual. Innocent looking. His hand drifts toward the purse. You cough. Loudly. The merchant glances your direction. Notices the boy. The boy withdraws. Moves away. Blends into crowd. The merchant nods at you. Silent thanks. You nod back. Market community. Merchants help merchants. Everyone watches for thieves. The boy is working with others. You see them now. 3 adults in the crowd. Watching. Coordinating. This is organized. This is professional theft. The boy is bait. The adults are the real threat. You watch your own stall more carefully. Your coin purse is inside your tunic. Harder to reach. Safer, but not impossible to steal. Nothing is impossible for a skilled thief. A commotion erupts. Different location. Someone caught a pickpocket. Not the boy. An adult. The crowd is angry. Very angry. The thief is being held. Punched. The bailiff is coming, but the crowd isn't waiting. Medieval justice is immediate. The thief is dragged to the stocks. The stocks are nearby permanent fixture in the market square. Public punishment. Public humiliation. The thief is locked in, head and hands through the wooden holes, immobilized. The crowd is throwing things, rotten vegetables, mud, worse things. The thief is yelling. No one cares. This is the punishment for theft. This is the deterrent. You return to your customers. Can't watch the punishment, can't get involved, just keep selling. An older merchant approaches. You recognize him. Jeffrey, wool merchant from Leeds, comes to York Market monthly. Serious buyer. I need quality wool, he says. Bulk purchase. What do you have? This is opportunity. Bulk sales are profit. I have 9 pieces remaining, various grades, all quality. He examines your inventory. Professional assessment. He knows fabric. I'll take 6 pieces. Best price, 6 pieces. That's roughly 30 yards of fabric at 6 pence per yard. That's 180 pence. 15 shillings. Massive sale. 5.5 pence per yard for bulk you offer. He considers. 5 pence. 5 pence is barely above cost. That's minimal profit. But it moves 6 pieces of inventory. That's significant cash flow. 5.25 pence. Final offer, he thinks, calculates. Done. You measure. 6 pieces, approximately 30 yards total. 5.25 pence per yard. That's 157.5 pence. 13 shillings and 1.5 pence. You settle on 13 shillings and 2 pence for clean math. He pays. Silver pennies. Lots of them. You count carefully. Twice. 3 times. This is too much money to miscount. Correct amount. Deal complete. You've sold 6 more pieces of wool. You have 3 pieces remaining. 3 pieces of linen with partial yardage. No silk that sold this morning. Your inventory is moving. Your coin purse is heavy. This is success. You're exhausted. You've been here 9 hours. 3 more to go. Your feet are screaming. Your back is locked. You're hungry. The bread from this morning is long gone. You buy another loaf from Agnes. 2 more pence. You eat standing up. Again. The sun is lowering. Late afternoon. The crowd is thinning slightly. The serious shoppers have mostly finished. The remaining crowd is browsers, tourists, people with time but not necessarily money. A well-dressed nobleman arrives. Rare. Nobles don't usually shop at Thursday market. They send servants. But here he is, looking at fabrics. This is significant. He examines your remaining wool. Do you have silk? Sold this morning, you say, regretfully. I have quality wool and linen. He's disappointed. I need silk for a gift. Where else? You could direct him to competitors. Or I can acquire silk for next market. Special order. What color? This is risk. Ordering silk costs money up front, but noble customers pay well. This could be major profit. Deep green, he says. Finest quality. Price is not an issue. Price is not an issue. Magic words. Beautiful words. I can have that for next Thursday, you say. Confident. You'll figure out how. 2 pieces? 1 piece is sufficient. How much? You calculate. Silk costs you roughly 9 shillings per piece. High quality might be 10. You need profit margin. 15 shillings. He doesn't haggle. Agreed. I'll return next Thursday. 15 shillings for 1 piece of silk, 5 shillings profit, 50% margin. This is extraordinary. This is why you take risks. You've committed. You need to source green silk by next Thursday. You know a merchant in Beverly, 15 miles away. You'll travel there this week. Buy the silk. Deliver next Thursday. Profit. Assuming the silk is available. Assuming the quality is acceptable. Assuming the nobleman actually returns. Assuming nothing goes wrong. Medieval business is risk. Constant risk. Calculated gambling. The market is winding down. Vendors are packing up. Some have sold everything. Some have barely sold anything. Market day is lottery. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you lose. You've won today, mostly. The silk sale this morning, the bulk wool sale this afternoon, the special order from the nobleman, multiple small sales throughout. Your coin purse is significantly heavier than this morning. You count your money. Thomas helps. You're counting silver pennies. Many silver pennies. This takes time. Total sales, approximately 45 shillings. That includes the morning silk, 21 shillings, the afternoon bulk wool, 13 shillings, various small sales throughout the day, approximately 11 shillings. Your costs. The silk you sold cost you 18 shillings. The wool you sold cost you approximately 8 shillings total. The linen cost you roughly 4 shillings. Total cost, 30 shillings. Profit, 15 shillings. 15 shillings profit for 1 day's work. That's excellent. That's enough to pay rent for 5 months. That's enough to restock inventory. That's enough to save for winter when sales slow down. This was a good day. Very good day. Not every market day is this profitable, but today was. You pack your remaining inventory. 3 pieces of wool, 3 pieces linen with partial yardage. You load the cart. Thomas helps. You're both exhausted. The market bell rings. Sunset. Market is officially closed. Vendors are leaving, heading home, counting their earnings or their losses. You pull the cart through darkening streets. York at dusk. People heading home. Taverns filling up. The smell of cooking food. Wood smoke. You're tired but satisfied. Tomorrow you'll rest. Recover. Maybe. Actually, no. Tomorrow you need to travel to Beverly. Source that green silk. The nobleman expects delivery next Thursday. You have 6 days. You'll leave Saturday morning. Buy the silk. Return Sunday. That leaves 3 days buffer for problems. Medieval logistics. No rest for the entrepreneurial. You arrive home, your workshop, your 2 rooms above the baker. You unload, count the money again. Still 45 shillings. Still 15 shillings profit. The count hasn't changed. The success is real. Your wife is pleased. 15 shillings means security, means food, means stability, means you're not starving this month. You eat dinner, actual dinner, sitting down, pottage with vegetables and a bit of meat, bread, small beer. It tastes incredible after 12 hours of standing and haggling. Thomas has gone home. Good kid. Worked hard today. You'll pay him his wage 3 pence for the day. Standard apprentice rate, he earned it. You're reviewing the day, the sales, the challenges, the guild inspection you passed, the pickpocket situation, the drunk customers, the special order that could be very profitable or very problematic. Market day, every Thursday, every week. This is your life. This is medieval commerce. Exhausting, stressful, competitive, occasionally violent, frequently frustrating, but profitable when done right, when luck favors you, when the guild inspectors don't find violations. When customers actually buy instead of just browsing and complaining about prices, you've survived another market day. You've made profit. You've avoided fines. You've maintained reputation. You've secured a special order for next week. Success. By medieval standards, by any standards, tomorrow, rest. Then, travel to Beverly for silk. Then, prepare for next Thursday. The cycle continues. The market never stops. The competition never rests. The grind is relentless, but at least you're not Robert. Robert got fined for undersized cloth and lost inventory. Robert is having a worse week. Very comforting thought. Very medieval. Very on brand for merchant rivalry. Saturday morning, 2 days after market. You're traveling to Beverly, 15 miles, on foot. Pulling a small cart with trade goods, 2 pieces of your remaining wool that you'll try to sell there to offset the silk purchase cost. Medieval business trip. No rental car, no GPS. Just you, the road, and hope that bandits aren't feeling ambitious today. You left at dawn. It's now mid-morning. You've walked roughly 5 miles. 10 more to go. Your feet already hurt. This is going to be a long day. The road to Beverly is well traveled. Merchants, pilgrims heading to Beverly Minster, farmers bringing goods to market. You're not alone. Safety in numbers. Bandits prefer isolated travelers. You stay with the group. A merchant traveling the opposite direction passes you. You nod. He nods. Medieval professional courtesy. You don't know him. He doesn't know you. But you're both merchants. You both understand the grind. The countryside is autumn beautiful. Fields harvested, trees turning colors. If you weren't exhausted and worried about silk prices, you might appreciate it. But you are exhausted. And you are worried about silk prices, so the scenery is wasted on you. You pass through a village, small, maybe 30 houses, a church, a mill. People stare at you, outsider, stranger, suspicious by default. You keep walking. Don't make eye contact. Don't engage. Just pass through. A dog barks at you, aggressive, territorial. You keep walking. The dog follows, barking, getting closer. Medieval dogs are not friendly pets. They're working animals, guard animals. Occasionally violent animals. The dog's owner calls it back. The dog obeys. Reluctantly. You continue. Heart rate elevated. That could have gone worse. Noon. You stop to rest, eat bread, drink water from your flask. You've walked roughly 8 miles, 7 more to go. The cart is heavy. Your shoulders hurt. The wool isn't that heavy individually, but pulling it for 8 miles makes everything heavy. Other travelers are resting. A pilgrim group, heading to Beverly to pray at the shrine of Street John. They're singing hymns, loudly, enthusiastically, slightly off-key, very medieval, very pious, very annoying when you're trying to rest in silence. You resume walking. The road continues, endless, monotonous, 1 foot in front of the other. Medieval commuting is walking, just walking, for hours. Your entire life is walking. Mid-afternoon. You see Beverly in the distance. The Minster Towers are visible, tall, impressive. You're close, maybe 2 more miles. You're tired, but energized, almost there. You enter Beverly, larger than York, more crowded. The streets are busy. Market day here is Saturday. Perfect timing. You can sell your wool and buy the silk same day. You head to the cloth merchant's quarter. You know where it is. You've been here before. Several streets dedicated to fabric trade, shops, warehouses, merchants everywhere. You find the silk merchant, Thomas de Lacy. Established reputation, quality goods, high prices but worth it. His shop is impressive. Stone building, 2 stories, expensive location. You enter. The shop is full of fabric, wool, linen, silk. So much silk. Colors you don't see in York. Deep blues, rich greens, brilliant reds. This is specialty inventory. This is wealth. Thomas de Lacy himself appears. Older man, successful, well-dressed. He recognizes you. From York, yes? Yes, I need green silk, finest quality, 1 piece. He shows you options. 3 different greens, light green, medium green, deep forest green. The deep green is perfect, exactly what the nobleman specified. How much, you ask? 12 shillings. 12 shillings. You estimated 10. You budgeted for 10. 12 is more than expected. Your profit margin just shrunk. You sold the silk order to the nobleman for 15 shillings. Cost is now 12 shillings. Profit is 3 shillings. 20% margin. Not the 50% you hoped for, but acceptable. Still profitable. 12 shillings, you repeat. Confirming, not haggling. This is specialist merchandise. The price is the price. Finest quality, Thomas says. From Lucca. Best silk you'll find in England. Italian silk. That explains the price. That justifies the cost. The nobleman will be satisfied. You hope. I'll take it. You pay. 12 shillings. Silver pennies counted carefully. Thomas counts, verifies, accepts payment, wraps the silk carefully. Protective linen covering, weather protection. This silk cannot get wet, cannot get dirty, cannot get damaged. This is your profit margin wrapped in fabric. Deal complete. You have the silk. You're now committed. The nobleman must return next Thursday, must accept the silk, must pay 15 shillings. If he doesn't return, you're stuck with expensive silk you can't afford. Medieval business risk, constant anxiety. You still have your 2 pieces of wool. You find other merchants. Sell 1 piece for 5 shillings. Sell the second for 4 shillings and 6 pence. 9 shillings and 6 pence total. This partially offsets the silk cost. Your net expenditure today is 2 shillings and 6 pence after sales. Manageable. Late afternoon. You need to head back. 15 miles. You won't make it before dark. You'll need to stop at an inn. Extra cost. But walking at night is dangerous. Bandits, wolves, getting lost, falling in ditches, all bad options. You start walking, back toward York. You'll stop at the inn in the village you passed this morning, 5 miles from Beverly, 10 miles from York, halfway point, good strategy. The sun is setting. You're walking fast. Want to reach the inn before full darkness. The road is emptying. Fewer travelers. You're becoming more isolated, more vulnerable. You hear horses behind you. Multiple horses. Riding fast. You step off the road. Let them pass. Standard practice. Don't block the road for people on horseback. The riders pass. 3 men, armed. They glance at you. Keep riding. Your heart rate spikes. Were they bandits assessing whether you're worth robbing? Were they just travelers? You don't know. You keep walking. Faster. The village appears. The inn is visible. You're relieved. Safety. Relative safety. The inn is small. 1 large room. Shared sleeping space. You're sharing the floor with other travelers. Privacy? Never heard of her. Security? Questionable. But it's shelter. It's better than sleeping on the road. The innkeeper charges you 2 pence for floor space and bread and ale. Highway robbery. But you're trapped. It's this or risk the road at night. You pay. The room is crowded. 10 other people. Merchants. Pilgrims. A family traveling to York. Everyone's bedding down. Finding floor space. Claiming territory. You wedge yourself into a corner. Your cart next to you. The silk hidden under your body. If someone's stealing it, they're going through you first. You don't sleep well. The floor is hard. Someone snores loudly. Someone else has digestive issues. The smell is something. You're exhausted but can't fully relax. Your expensive silk is under you. Thieves are a constant threat. You sleep lightly, wake frequently. Check that the silk is still there. Morning. Sunday. You survive the night. The silk is safe. You eat bread. Drink weak ale. Pay the innkeeper another penny for breakfast. Total in cost, 3 pence. Expensive, but necessary. You resume walking. 10 miles to York. Your feet are already sore from yesterday. This is going to hurt. The road is busy. Sunday morning. People traveling to church, to market, to family. You blend in. Safety in numbers again. Mid-morning. Your feet are blistering. You're sure of it. Can't check. Can't stop. Just keep walking. The sooner you get home, the sooner you can rest. A merchant you recognize from York Market is walking the same direction. Geoffrey, the bulk wool buyer from Thursday. He's returning from somewhere. Probably similar business trip. You walk together. Company makes the journey faster. You discuss business, market conditions, prices, competition, guild regulations. The universal complaints of medieval merchants. Heard Robert got fined Thursday, Geoffrey says. News travels. Undersized cloth. You confirm. Serves him right. He's been cutting corners for months. Medieval professional gossip. Robert's reputation is damaged. His business is suffering. You feel slightly guilty for being pleased about this. Only slightly. Noon. You're exhausted. 7 miles done. 3 to go. So close. Your feet are screaming. Your shoulders are locked. The cart feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds. Geoffrey splits off, heading to a different part of York. You continue alone. Final push. You see York walls in the distance. The Minster towers. You're almost home. Almost done. You enter the city. Navigate streets to your workshop. Arrive. Finally. You've walked 30 miles in 2 days. 15 there. 15 back. Your feet might never recover. Your wife is relieved. You're home. You're safe. The silk is acquired. The special order is ready for Thursday. You collapse. Rest. Your feet are definitely blistered. You check. Yes. Multiple blisters. Painful. You're not walking anywhere tomorrow, or possibly ever again. Monday through Wednesday. You rest. Prepare. Check the silk repeatedly. It's perfect. Deep green. Finest quality. The nobleman will be satisfied. He has to be satisfied. 15 shillings depends on it. You also prepare regular inventory for Thursday market. You're low on wool. You buy 3 new pieces from a wholesaler. Cost 6 shillings. You buy 2 pieces of linen. Cost 4 shillings. Total investment 10 shillings. You need to sell these for 15 shillings minimum to profit. 50% markup. Standard. Your coin reserves are depleted. The silk costs 12 shillings. The new inventory costs 10 shillings. Your 15 shillings profit from last Thursday is mostly gone. You have approximately 8 shillings remaining. Enough for rent, enough for food, but not much buffer. Medieval cash flow is precarious. One bad market day and you're in trouble. One special order that doesn't complete and you're catastrophic. Thursday morning, market day. Again, 4 in the morning. You load the cart. The special order silk carefully wrapped, protected, your new inventory, your measuring tools, your scales. Thomas helps. He's reliable, 13 years old and more responsible than some adults. You're paying him 4 pence this week, slightly more than usual. He's earned it. You arrive at Pavement Square, 5 in the morning. Dark, cold. November is approaching. Winter is coming. Market day in winter is going to be miserable, but that's future misery. Today's misery is sufficient. You set up your stall, 3rd row, same spot as last week. Agnes is setting up her bread stall. Robert is there. He's back, despite last week's fine. Stubborn or desperate, probably both. The guild took his undersized cloth. He lost inventory and paid a fine. But he's still here, still competing. Medieval resilience or medieval stupidity. Time will tell. 6 in the morning. Market bell rings. Market opens. You wait. You're waiting for one specific customer, the nobleman. Deep green silk, 15 shillings. Your entire week's profit depends on this. Other customers browse. You sell some linen, 6 pence. You sell wool, 5 pence. Small sales, maintenance sales. But you're distracted, watching for the nobleman. Mid-morning. Still no nobleman. You're getting nervous. What if he doesn't come? What if he forgot? What if he changed his mind? You're stuck with 12 shillings of silk you can't afford. The guild inspector appears. Brother William. Making rounds. He approaches your stall. Examines your wool. Measures it. 36 inches. Correct. Checks quality. Acceptable. Moves on. You passed inspection again, 2 weeks in a row. You're on a roll. Don't jinx it. The nobleman appears. Finally. He's here. He remembered. You're relieved. 15 shillings is coming. He approaches your stall. You have the silk? Yes, sir. You bring out the wrapped package. Unwrap it carefully. Display the deep green silk. Finest quality. Exactly as promised. He examines it. Holds it to light. Rubs it between fingers. Professional assessment. He knows fabric. This is the test. Silence. He's thinking. Evaluating. You're sweating. Please accept it. Please. This is excellent quality, he says. You exhale. Lucca silk, finest available. 15 shillings, we agreed. Yes, sir. He reaches for his purse, counts out 15 shillings, silver pennies. Careful count, hands them to you. You count. Once, twice, 3 times. 15 shillings exactly. Transaction complete. The special order is fulfilled. 15 shillings earned, 12 shillings cost, 3 shillings profit. Plus you've established relationship with a noble customer. Future business potential. This is success. The nobleman takes the silk, pleased. I may need more in future. I can source anything you need, sir. He nods. Leaves. You're thrilled, noble customer. Repeat business potential. This is how you build a business. This is how you survive. The rest of market day is normal. Sales, haggling, guild inspections you pass, pickpocket attempts you thwart, mystery meat pies you avoid. By dusk, you've sold most of your inventory. Your coin purse is heavy. Another successful market day. You count earnings. Approximately 22 shillings total sales. Costs were 10 shillings for new inventory you sold. Profit, 12 shillings. Add the 3 shillings from the silk special order. Total profit, 15 shillings. Same as last week. 15 shillings profit. Consistent. Sustainable. This is working. Medieval Market Day. Week 2 complete. The grind continues. The competition persists. The guild inspectors watch. The thieves operate. The customers haggle. But you're surviving. You're profiting. You're building a business. Next week, more of the same. Different inventory. Different customers. Same chaos. Same opportunities. Same risks. The market never stops. The work never ends. But at least you're not Robert. Robert's still recovering from last week's fine. Robert's still selling undersized cloth. Probably. Robert is cooked. Very satisfying. Very petty. Very medieval merchant rivalry. Let's talk about what you're actually selling. Because medieval market isn't just transactions. It's theater. It's performance art. It's convincing people that your fabric is worth more than the identical fabric 3 stalls down. Marketing existed in 1345. It just involved more shouting and fewer Instagram ads. Your wool. You call it quality wool.
What does that mean?
It means the sheep it came from were reasonably healthy. The wool was cleaned, mostly. The weaving was done by someone who knew what they were doing. Usually, there are no holes. Probably. The color is consistent, sort of. You're not lying. You're emphasizing strengths. There's a difference. Medieval marketing is selective truth-telling. The wool came from Yorkshire sheep, local. You source from farmers outside York. They shear sheep in spring. Sell the wool to processors. Processors clean it, card it, spin it into thread. Weavers turn thread into fabric. You buy fabric from weavers. Mark it up. Sell it at market. The supply chain is local. Everything happens within 20 miles. The sheep that became your fabric were grazing in fields you can see from York walls. This is medieval manufacturing. Hyperlocal. No global supply chains, no shipping containers from China, just Yorkshire sheep and Yorkshire labor. Contemporary accounts from 14th century merchant records describe wool trade as the foundation of English prosperity. Wool exports to Flemish weavers made England wealthy. Domestic wool trade made merchants like you survive. The entire economy runs on sheep. Sheep are everywhere. Sheep are currency. England is a wool-based economy covered in sheep. Your linen comes from flax. Flax grown locally. Harvested. Processed through genuinely unpleasant steps involving soaking and rotting and beating. The smell of flax processing is memorable. Terrible. Unforgettable. But the result is linen thread. Weavers make fabric. You buy it, sell it. Linen is summer fabric, light, breathable, also expensive. Flax processing is labor-intensive. That labor cost transfers to you, transfers to customers. Linen costs more than wool, always. Your silk comes from Italy, via complex trade networks you barely understand. Silk is produced in Italy from silkworms originally from China via Byzantine Empire trade routes that would take hours to explain. You don't know the details. You just know Italian merchant brings silk to England. You buy it. Mark it up significantly. Sell it to nobles who can afford it. Silk is luxury. Silk is status. Silk is, I have money and you don't in fabric form. The deep green silk you sold to the nobleman? That silk communicated wealth, power, social position. He wasn't buying fabric. He was buying status. Medieval economics is not just about utility. It's about signaling. What you wear tells everyone your social position. Sumptuary laws, actual laws about who can wear what exist to maintain class distinctions. Peasants can't wear silk legally. Nobles must wear expensive fabrics to demonstrate status. Your inventory serves this system. You're a middleman. You buy wholesale, sell retail. Your profit is the difference. Simple. Except it's not simple because prices fluctuate. Bad harvest, sheep die, wool prices spike. Good harvest, abundant wool. Prices drop. You're gambling on supply constantly. Quality varies. Every piece of fabric is slightly different. Hand-woven, hand-processed. No industrial standardization. You're assessing quality by eye and touch. Experience helps. But mistakes happen. Competition is constant. Robert next door, Agnes selling bread, every other merchant. You're all fighting for the same customers with limited spending money. Regulations are everywhere. Guild rules, city ordinances, royal proclamations, weights and measures, laws, quality standards. You navigate bureaucracy constantly. One mistake and you're fined? Market day pricing is psychological warfare. You price high. Customer offers low. You negotiate. They negotiate. Eventually you meet somewhere both parties find acceptable but neither party is happy about. This is every single transaction. Exhausting. You're watching customers approach. You can assess wealth by clothing. Rich merchant, expensive wool, good tailoring, clean. He has money. Price high. Peasant farmer, rough wool, patched, dirty. He has little money. Price lower, or he walks away. A wealthy customer approaches. Well-dressed, clean. This is opportunity. Quality wool, you say. Opening pitch. Yorkshire sheep. Excellent weave. He examines it. Professional assessment. He knows fabric. How much? 8 pence per yard. He doesn't flinch. Good sign. I need 10 yards. Discount for bulk? 10 yards at 8 pence is 80 pence. 6 shillings and 8 pence. Significant sale. 7.5 pence per yard for 10 yards you offer. That's 75 pence total. 6 shillings and 3 pence. Meaningful discount. Still profitable. He considers 7 pence. 7 pence per yard is 70 pence total. 5 shillings and 10 pence. Lower than you wanted. But 10 yards moves inventory. Cash flow matters. 7.25 pence. Final offer. He thinks. Calculates. Done. You measure 10 yards. Carefully. Precisely. Cut the fabric. He pays 72.5 pence. You round to 6 shillings even for clean math. He accepts. Deal complete. 6 shillings earned. Cost was approximately 4 shillings for that wool. Profit, 2 shillings. 50% margin. Excellent. This is good negotiation. Both parties satisfied. You got close to asking price. He got bulk discount. Medieval, win-win. A poor customer approaches. Worn clothing. Thin. Probably hungry. This is different calculation. Cheapest wool? She asks. You have one piece of lower quality wool. Thinner, rougher, still functional. 4 pence per yard. She winces. Too much. 4 pence is cheap. That's below average. But for her, it's expensive. She's counting pennies. Every penny matters. 3.5 pence you offer. You're barely profiting at that price. But she needs fabric. You remember being poor. You were poor last year. You might be poor next year. Help when you can. I only have 3 pence total, she says. 3 pence. She can afford less than 1 yard. That's not enough fabric for anything useful. You make decision. 3 pence for 1 yard. That's selling at cost. 0 profit. Possibly slight loss, but she needs it. You can afford the charity. This week? Maybe. She's grateful. Genuinely grateful. Takes the fabric. Pays her 3 pence. Leaves. Thomas watched this transaction. You lost money on that sale, he observes. 13 years old and already understanding profit margins. Sometimes you help, you say. When you can. This is medieval economics that account books don't capture. Community support, mutual aid. You help her today. Maybe someone helps you tomorrow when you need it. Maybe not. You help anyway. Agnes next door is having guild problems. Brother William is inspecting her bread, weighing loaves. Something's wrong. This loaf is underweight, Brother William says. Official voice. Guild authority. Agnes protests. I baked it this morning. It was correct weight then. It's not correct now. He's measuring, comparing. His scales say the bread is 2 ounces light. Agnes is arguing. The bread lost moisture while cooling. The weight loss is natural. She's not cheating. This is physics, not fraud. Brother William is unconvinced. You adjust for moisture loss in your portions or your pricing. Fine, incoming. Agnes is upset. She's honest. She's not cheating. But the scales don't lie. The bread is underweight. By guild standards, that's violation. You watch. You're sympathetic. Guild regulations are strict, sometimes unreasonably strict. But they protect customers from actual fraud. The system works mostly when it's not punishing honest mistakes. Agnes is fined 2 pence. Small fine. Warning level. Her reputation takes minor damage. She's humiliated. Public correction. Everyone saw. Everyone knows. Medieval enforcement is public. Shame is part of punishment. Your reputation is your business. Damage reputation and you damage livelihood. Robert is having a better week. He's selling. Customers are buying despite last week's fine. Some customers don't care about guild violations. They just want cheap fabric. Robert provides cheap fabric. They buy. You're annoyed. Robert cheated. Robert got caught. Robert should be suffering more. But medieval justice is imperfect. Some people face consequences. Some people don't. Some people recover quickly. Life is unfair. The food situation at market is its own economy. Bread vendors like Agnes, meat pie sellers, fish vendors, the smell is distinctive, ale sellers walking through crowds, fruit vendors, cheese merchants. The meat pies are mystery. You're watching a vendor sell them. Hot, fresh, smelling delicious. 1 penny each. 1 penny is very cheap. Suspiciously cheap. What meat costs 1 penny? A customer buys a pie, bites into it, chews, swallows, seems satisfied. The pie hasn't killed him. That's good sign. Low bar, but still. Thomas wants a pie. He's eyeing them. Hungry. 13-year-old boys are always hungry. 1 penny you give him. If you die, I'm not paying for funeral. He buys a pie, bites in, chews. His expression is complicated. Not quite approval. Not quite disgust. Acceptance of medieval food quality standards. It's fine, he reports. Probably pork. Maybe. Probably pork. Maybe. Schrodinger's meat pie. It's both pork and not pork until you taste it, and even then you're not certain. You stick with Agnes's bread. Safer. More predictable. Bread is bread. Meat pies are philosophical questions. The pickpocket from last week is back. Same boy. Maybe 10 years old. Working the crowd. You recognize his pattern. Too focused. Too purposeful. He's targeting a merchant across the square. You cough. Loudly. The merchant glances up. Sees the boy. The boy withdraws. Blends into crowd. The boy looks at you. Brief eye contact. He knows you saw him. You know he knows. He moves to different section of market, different targets. You've prevented 1 theft. You can't prevent all thefts. The boy has to eat. He's probably working for adults who take most of his stolen goods. Medieval labor exploitation is everywhere. Not just legitimate trades. Crime is also employing young people. You're not judging. You're just watching, protecting your stall, protecting neighbors when possible. The broader social problems are beyond your capacity to fix. A customer wants to pay with a clipped coin. Silver penny with edges shaved off. Someone's removed silver, reduced the coin's actual value while keeping face value. This is clipped, you say, firm, not accepting. It's a penny, he argues. It's 3/4 of a penny. Someone clipped it. Coin clipping is fraud. Illegal. People do it anyway. Shave edges off coins. Collect the silver shavings. Melt them down. Make new coins. Use the clipped coins at face value. Profit. You're not accepting clipped coins. You'll get stuck with the loss when you try to spend them. Full weight coins only, you insist. He grumbles. Finds a different coin. Full weight. Pays properly. Transaction complete. You check every coin you receive. Every single one. Clipping is common. Counterfeit coins exist. Foreign coins get mixed in. You're doing quality control on currency constantly. Medieval money is not trustworthy. Every transaction requires verification. Exhausting but necessary. Mid-afternoon. You've been here 8 hours. 4 more to go. Your feet hurt. Your back hurts. You're tired, but sales are good. Your coin purse is heavy. This is success even when success is painful. A guild inspector you don't recognize arrives. Not Brother William, someone else. Younger, newer, possibly more zealous. He's checking scales, ensuring accurate weights. This is important. Weight fraud is common. Merchants use tampered scales. Sell 1 pound, that's actually 14 ounces. Cheat customers systematically. Your scales are honest. You check them against official guild weights. They're accurate. You're not worried. Mostly not worried. The inspector examines your scales. Tests them with official weights. 1 pound weight. Your scale says 1 pound. Correct. Half pound. Your scale says 8 ounces. Correct. Quarter pound. Your scale says 4 ounces. Correct. He nods. Acceptable? Moves on. You passed. Another inspection survived. You're building a reputation for honesty. This matters long term. Customers trust you. Guild trusts you. Repeat. Business develops. This is how you build sustainable enterprise. A competitor is not as fortunate. 2 stalls down. A merchant selling spices. The inspector found tampered weights. The scale is reading heavy. Customers are being overcharged. This is fraud. Serious fraud. The merchant is protesting, claiming ignorance, claiming the scale is broken, not tampered. The inspector is unconvinced. Fine incoming, large fine, possibly confiscation of goods, possibly ban from market. This is severe violation. The crowd is watching. Everyone sees. Everyone knows. That merchant's reputation is destroyed. His business is finished. He might survive financially, but he'll never survive socially. Trust is gone. Medieval justice is harsh but public. Everyone knows the rules. Everyone knows the consequences. You cheat, you get caught, you suffer publicly. The system depends on reputation. Destroy reputation and you destroy yourself. You're grateful you're honest. Grateful you follow regulations. Grateful you passed inspection. The short-term profit from cheating is not worth long-term destruction. The market continues. Sales, haggling, watching for thieves, checking coins, measuring fabric, cutting fabric, taking payment. Repeat. This is the loop. 12 hours of this loop. By evening, you've sold most inventory. 3 pieces of wool remaining. 1 piece of linen. Your coin purse is very heavy. Today's sales are approximately 18 shillings. Costs were about 10 shillings. Profit, 8 shillings. Combined with the silk special order earlier this week, you're doing well. Very well. 2 good market days, consistent profit. This is sustainable. You pack remaining inventory. Load the cart. Thomas helps. You're both exhausted. Market day exhaustion is real. Physical and mental. 12 hours of constant vigilance is draining. You pay Thomas 4 pence for today. He's earned it. He worked hard. He's learning. He'll be a good merchant someday, if he survives the apprenticeship. You head home. Cart loaded, coin purse heavy, body tired. Mind calculating already for next week's inventory purchases. Medieval market day. Week 3. Success continues. The grind persists. The competition remains. But you're surviving. You're profiting. You're building something. Next Thursday, more of the same. Different inventory. Different customers. Same challenges. Same opportunities. Same chaos. The market is your life. Every Thursday, every week, forever. Until you retire. or die, whichever comes first. Statistically, death comes first. Medieval life expectancy is not encouraging, but that's next part's problem. Today, success, profit, survival, victory by medieval standards. Let's talk about the things that can absolutely destroy you at medieval market. Because you're not just competing with other merchants, you're fighting weather, theft, violence, economic collapse, disease, guild politics, royal taxation, and your own bad decisions. Medieval business is survival on hard mode. Weather is your enemy. Rain destroys fabric. You can't sell wet wool. You can't sell water-damaged silk. Rain means covering your stall, protecting inventory, potentially losing sales because customers don't shop in downpours. Medieval weather forecasting? Never heard of her. You wake up, check the sky, pray to whatever saint handles weather, and hope. Winter is worse. November through February, market day is freezing. You're standing outside for 12 hours in temperatures that make your fingers numb. Customers don't want to shop. They want to stay inside by fires. Sales drop, your income drops, but rent doesn't drop. Food costs don't drop. You're earning less while expenses stay constant. Winter is cash flow nightmare. You prepare. You save money during good months, spring and summer and early fall, to survive winter. Hopefully, if sales are good. If nothing goes wrong. If unexpected expenses don't appear. Big ifs. A bad winter can destroy a merchant. You know 3 merchants who went bankrupt last winter. Couldn't make rent, couldn't pay guild fees, lost their stalls, lost their businesses, gone. That's the margin. That's how precarious this is. Theft is constant threat. You're watching your stall every moment. Pickpockets work the crowds. Thieves grab merchandise and run. Organized crime rings operate with lookouts and coordinators. You're one distracted moment away from losing inventory. Last month, a fabric merchant lost an entire bolt of silk. Turned around for 30 seconds. Silk vanished, never recovered. That was 15 shillings of inventory, gone. The merchant couldn't absorb the loss. He's selling cheaper goods now, struggling. One theft changed his entire business trajectory. You keep valuable inventory close. The silk you sold, that stayed within arm's reach until the nobleman paid. You don't trust anyone, not customers, not other merchants, not random people walking past. Trust gets you robbed. Violence erupts randomly. Fights over stall positions, arguments over prices, drunk customers getting aggressive, thieves caught and beaten. Market day is contained chaos. The bailiff patrols but can't be everywhere. You're responsible for your own security. You carry a knife. Small. Legal. For cutting fabric, officially. For self-defense, realistically. You've never used it in a fight. You hope you never have to, but it's there, just in case. 2 months ago, a merchant stabbed a thief who was robbing his stall. The thief died. The merchant was arrested, tried, acquitted self-defense, but he lost 3 weeks of market days during the trial, lost 3 weeks of income, legal victory, economic disaster. Even justified violence costs you. Guild politics are their own special nightmare. The York Merchant Guild controls who can sell what where. They set quality standards. They enforce regulations. They collect fees. They have enormous power over your livelihood. Staying in good standing with the guild is essential. You pay your annual membership fee 10 shillings. Expensive but necessary. Without guild membership, you can't sell at York Market legally. You're done. You attend guild meetings. Monthly. Boring. Long. Merchants arguing about regulations and fees and who gets which market stall. You go anyway. Show your face. Network. Stay informed. Guild politics determines your business environment. Ignore it at your peril. The guild protects you somewhat. They standardize weights and measures. They punish fraud. They maintain market order. Without the guild, market would be complete chaos. Everyone cheating. No standards, no trust, no functional economy. But the guild also restricts you. You can't sell certain goods without permission. You can't change prices below certain minimums, price fixing to prevent destructive competition. You can't operate outside your designated area. The guild controls everything. Protection and restriction combined. Medieval regulation is complicated. Royal taxation is robbery, legal robbery. The king needs money constantly. Wars with France, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, maintaining castles, paying armies, bribing nobles. The cost of monarchy is astronomical. You pay for it. The tax collectors come quarterly. They assess your business, estimate your income, demand payment. You negotiate. They insist. Eventually you pay. Anywhere from 2 to 5 shillings per quarter depending on assessment. That's 8 to 20 shillings per year. That's significant expense. You can't refuse. Refusing royal taxes is treason. You pay. You resent it. Everyone resents it. But you pay. The taxes fund infrastructure, roads, bridges, city walls, markets. Theoretically, in practice, who knows where the money goes? You just know it leaves your purse and doesn't come back. Disease is the ultimate threat. Plague swept through York in 1349. 4 years from now in your timeline. You don't know it's coming, but it's coming. When it hits, approximately 40% of York's population will die. 40%. 4 in 10 people. Gone. The economic impact will be catastrophic. Customer base shrinks. Labor becomes scarce. Prices fluctuate wildly. Some merchants profit from scarcity. Most just struggle to survive. The plague doesn't care about your business plan. You can't prepare for plague. You can't prevent it. You can only endure it. If you survive. Many don't. Right now, 1345, things are relatively stable. No active plague outbreak. No major wars directly affecting York. No economic collapse. This is good times by medieval standards. Enjoy them while they last. Your own bad decisions are constant danger. Bad inventory purchases. Extending too much credit to customers who don't pay. Trusting the wrong business partners. Expanding too fast. Getting greedy. Making one major mistake that destroys everything you've built. You're careful. Very careful. You don't take enormous risks. You don't overextend. You save money. You maintain relationships. You follow regulations. You're trying to build sustainable business, not get rich quick. But mistakes happen. You're human. Humans make errors. You bought silk for 12 shillings hoping to sell for 15. If the nobleman hadn't returned, you'd have lost money. That was risk. Calculated risk. But risk nonetheless. Every business decision is gambling with imperfect information. You're guessing about future demand, guessing about prices, guessing about competition, guessing about everything. Sometimes you guess right. Sometimes you don't. The merchants who survive are the ones who guess right slightly more often than they guess wrong. That's it. That's the entire strategy. Be slightly better at guessing than average. Survive longer than average. Profit slightly more than average. Accumulate slightly more capital. Repeat. Medieval business is not innovation. It's not disruption. It's slow accumulation of marginal advantages over decades. It's boring. It's stable. It works. Until it doesn't. You're watching a merchant across the square, Simon. Wool merchant. Competitor. He's been in business 15 years. Established reputation. Good customer base. Solid operation. He's arguing with a customer. Heated argument. The customer is accusing him of selling defective fabric. Simon is denying it, voices rising, attracting attention. The customer is wealthy, noble, possibly. He's threatening to report Simon to the guild, threatening Simon's reputation. This is serious. Simon is defensive, angry. He's saying the customer damaged the fabric himself. The customer is insulted, offended. The argument is escalating. Other merchants are watching. Customers are watching. This is public. This is reputation damage in real time. Win or lose the argument, Simon loses. His reputation is being questioned publicly. That's the real damage? The bailiff arrives, intervenes, separates them. The customer leaves. Simon returns to his stall, shaken, angry, humiliated. You feel bad for Simon. You also note, don't argue with customers publicly, especially wealthy customers, especially about quality. Take the loss. Protect reputation. Replace the fabric. Apologize. Move on. Pride is expensive. Simon just learned that lesson the hard way. His sales will suffer this week, maybe longer. People remember public arguments. Trust is damaged. Rebuilding takes time. Medieval business is reputation management. Your word is your bond. Your reputation is your brand. Damage either, and you're cooked. Thomas is learning these lessons. He's watching, observing. 13 years old and getting real-world business education. No university, no textbooks, just watching markets operate. Watching merchants succeed. Watching merchants fail. Learning what works. Learning what doesn't. You're teaching him. Explicitly when possible. Implicitly always. How to assess fabric quality. How to negotiate. How to spot thieves. How to deal with guild inspectors. How to manage money. How to survive. He's smart. He learns quickly. He asks good questions. He'll be better merchant than you eventually. That's the goal. Each generation slightly better. Slight improvements accumulate. The trade advances. Mid-afternoon market rhythm is different. The serious shoppers are done. The browsers remain. People killing time. People looking but not buying. You still engage. Still pitch. Still try to sell. But success rate is lower. A woman examines your linen. Long examination. Detailed. She asks questions. You answer. She asks more questions. You answer. This continues for 10 minutes. She's not buying. You can tell. She's just looking, comparing. She'll go to 3 other merchants, compare prices, compare quality. Maybe buy tomorrow. Maybe never buy. You're polite anyway. Professional. You don't know who she knows. You don't know who she'll recommend to her friends. Every interaction is potential future business. Or potential reputation damage. She leaves. No sale. 10 minutes invested. 0 return. This is normal. For every sale, you have 5 non-sales. 5 time investments that don't pay off. You accept this. It's part of the business. The guild inspector makes another round. Different inspector. 3rd one today. They're thorough. They're everywhere. You're compliant. You pass inspection. Again, you're noticing a pattern. The inspections focus on certain merchants repeatedly. Merchants with previous violations. Merchants with bad reputations. You're not on that list. You're on the trustworthy list. This is advantage. Hard-earned advantage. Brother William approaches. Not inspecting. Just talking. You're doing well, he observes. Thank you, Brother William. Keep following the rules. Quality work. Honest measures. You'll build good business. This is validation. From the guild inspector. This is reputation building. He notices merchants who do things right. He remembers. When opportunities arise, better stall positions, special market privileges, guild recommendations, he'll remember the honest merchants. You're playing long game. Short-term cheating might increase immediate profit. Long-term honesty builds reputation, relationships, sustainable business. You chose long game. It's working. Slowly, but working. Evening approaches. Market is winding down. You've sold well today. Not spectacular. Solid. Consistent. Your coin purse has approximately 14 shillings from today's sales. After costs, that's probably 6 shillings profit. Good day? Not great. Good. You pack inventory. Load cart. Pay Thomas his 4 pence. He's earned it. He worked hard. He's learning. He's becoming valuable assistant. You head home. The routine is established. Thursday market. Sell. Profit. Survive. Rest. Prepare. Repeat. This is your life. This is medieval commerce. The wheel keeps turning. The market keeps opening. The customers keep coming. The guild keeps regulating. The competition keeps competing. The threats keep threatening. You keep surviving. Keep adapting. Keep learning. Keep building. Medieval market day is not adventure. It's not glory. It's repetitive grind toward long-term stability. It's boring. It's stressful. It's exhausting. It's also working. You're profitable. You're stable. You're building something. Slowly, carefully, sustainably. Next Thursday, more of the same. Different challenges, same fundamentals. Keep showing up. Keep working. Keep surviving. The merchants who make it aren't the smartest or the luckiest. They're the ones who keep showing up, week after week, year after year, decade after decade. Persistent survival is the real skill. You're developing that skill. 4 weeks in, many years to go. The grind continues, but at least you're not Simon. Simon had a public argument with a wealthy customer and damaged his reputation. Simon's week is worse than yours. Very comforting. Very medieval, very competitive merchant mindset. Let's talk about the customers who make you question your life choices. Because medieval market isn't just honest transactions with reasonable people. It's arguing with customers who think everything is overpriced, dealing with people who try to pay with questionable currency, and managing individuals whose entire negotiation strategy is, what if I just insult your merchandise until you drop the price out of exhaustion? The haggler who never buys. You know this type. They arrive every week. They examine your fabric. They ask detailed questions. They negotiate aggressively. They get you down to rock-bottom prices. Then they say, I'll think about it, and leave. They're not customers. They're price researchers. They're gathering information to use at other stalls. You're providing free market analysis. You hate them. A woman approaches. You recognize her. She's been here 3 weeks in a row. Never bought anything. Always haggles. Always leaves. How much for the wool? She asks. 6 pence per yard, you say. Standard price. Fair price. Robert sells for 5 pence. Robert again. Robert is haunting you from his stall 20 feet away. Robert's quality is lower. You explain. 4th time you've explained this. To her. Specifically, 5.5 pence? She offers. You're tired. You're annoyed. You're not playing this game again. 6 pence. That's the price. She examines the fabric. Long examination, detailed examination. She's touched every piece of wool you own. She knows your inventory better than you do at this point. I'll think about it, she says. She leaves. No sale. 5 minutes wasted. This is the 4th week. You've spent 20 minutes total on her. 0 revenue. 0 chance of future revenue. She's never buying. She just enjoys haggling. You're considering banning her from your stall. You won't. That's bad business. But you're considering it. The coin clipper returns. Different person. Same scam. Trying to pay with shaved pennies. Silver edges removed. Actual value is 75% of face value. This coin is clipped, you say. Immediately. Not wasting time. It's legal currency, he argues. It's defaced currency. I'm not accepting it. He tries 3 more clipped coins. You reject all of them. He finally produces proper coins. Pays correctly. Buys fabric. Leaves. This happens weekly. Multiple times. People trying to pass clipped coins, foreign coins, counterfeit coins. You're doing currency authentication constantly. Medieval transactions require trust verification at every step. The drunk customer is back. Different drunk person. Same problem. It's afternoon. The taverns have been open for hours. Some customers are very drunk. A man staggers to your stall, grabs the edge for balance. Your display shifts. You steady it. Again. This is becoming pattern. I need fabric, he slurs, for my wife. She's angry. I forgot her birthday. Buying fabric won't solve this problem. But that's not your concern. Your concern is completing a sale without him falling over and destroying your stall. What color, you ask? He squints at your inventory. Blue. You don't have blue. You have brown wool, gray wool, natural linen, burgundy linen. No blue. I don't have blue. I have The blue one. He points at gray wool. It's gray. Distinctly gray. Not even close to blue. That's gray, you say. Looks blue to me. You're not arguing about colors with drunk people. That's a losing battle. This gray fabric is 6 pence per yard. I'll take 2 yards of blue. You measure 2 yards of gray fabric. Cut it. He pays. 12 pence. Counts out the coins slowly. Drops several. Picks them up. Eventually assembles 12 pence. You count. Verify. Correct amount. Transaction complete. He staggers away with his blue fabric. His wife is still going to be angry. The fabric won't help. But you've made 12 pence. You'll take it. Thomas is laughing. Quietly, trying not to be obvious. Gray is the new blue, you tell him. Apparently. Medieval customer service is flexible. Very flexible. The customer is always right, even when they're catastrophically wrong about basic colors. The bulk buyer who wants wholesale prices appears. Large order potential, also large headache potential. A merchant from Leeds, not Jeffrey from earlier, different merchant. He needs significant fabric. 20 yards potentially. This is major sale. Also major negotiation battle incoming. 20 yards of wool, he says. Best price. 20 yards at 6 pence per yard is 120 pence. 10 shillings. Significant sale. Your cost was approximately 4 pence per yard. Profit margin is 2 pence per yard. At 20 yards, that's 40 pence profit. 3 shillings and 4 pence. Excellent. 5.5 pence per yard for 20 yards, you offer. That's 110 pence total. 9 shillings and 2 pence. Still solid profit. 4 pence per yard. 4 pence is your cost. That's zero profit. That's wasting time for no benefit. 4 pence is wholesale. You're buying retail quantities. 5.5 pence is fair for bulk. I can get 4.5 pence from other merchants. Maybe he can. Maybe he's bluffing. You can't know. This is negotiation. Information warfare with incomplete intelligence. 5 pence per yard. Final offer. He considers. Calculates. 5 pence for 20 yards. But you deliver to Leeds. Delivering to Leeds means walking 15 miles. Again, with 20 yards of fabric. That's time cost. That's labor cost. That's risk cost. 5.25 pence. I deliver, he thinks. Long pause. Calculating his own margins. His own costs. His own profit. Done. Deliver by Saturday. You've agreed. 20 yards at 5.25 pence. 105 pence total. 8 shillings and 9 pence. Minus delivery cost. Minus time cost. Profit is maybe 2 shillings after everything. Not great, but it moves inventory. It's income. You shake hands. Medieval contract. Binding. Your word is your bond. You'll deliver. Saturday. Leeds. 15 miles with 20 yards of fabric. You're already tired thinking about it, but business is business. Sales are sales. You committed. The negotiator who uses sob stories arrives. This is manipulation tactic. Make you feel bad. Lower prices out of sympathy. A woman, middle-aged, examining linen. How much? She asks. 10 pence per yard, she sighs. Deeply, dramatically. That's expensive. My husband is sick. We have 6 young ones to feed. Money is tight. This might be true. This might be performance. You can't know. Medieval life is hard for everyone. Sympathy is weaponized regularly. I can do 9 pence per yard, you offer. Small discount, showing compassion. Also protecting profit margin. 7 pence would help us so much. More sighing. More drama. 7 pence is below your target margin. You'd make minimal profit. But you remember being poor. You remember struggling. You sold fabric at cost to a poor woman 2 weeks ago. You assess. Her clothing is worn but not desperate. She's not starving. She's struggling, but not destitute. The sob story is exaggerated. Probably. 8 pence. That's as low as I can go. She accepts. Quickly. Too quickly. She would have paid 9 pence. You got manipulated. Slightly. You're annoyed at yourself. She buys 2 yards. 16 pence total. You make small profit, less than you should have. Lesson learned. Again. Medieval commerce is psychological. Reading people. Assessing truth versus performance. Balancing compassion with profit. You're getting better at it. Slowly. With many expensive lessons. The serial returner doesn't exist yet. Returns aren't really a thing. You sell fabric. Transaction complete. No refunds. No exchanges. No returns policy. What you buy is yours. Forever. This actually simplifies things. Except when customers claim you sold them defective merchandise, like Simon earlier. Then you have reputation problem, guild problem, potential legal problem, but no formal returns process. Just arguing and reputation damage. The theft attempt happens. Mid-afternoon, you're negotiating with a customer. A second person working with the first reaches for fabric at the far end of your stall. You see it. Peripheral vision. You're watching everything always. Don't touch that, you say, loud, firm. The second person withdraws. Both people leave, quickly. Team theft operation. Distraction plus grab. Classic technique. You stopped it. Thomas didn't see it. He was watching the first customer. The distraction worked on him. He's learning. Expensive lessons if you weren't vigilant. Watch for teams, you tell him. One distracts, one steals. Always watch the whole stall. He nods. Learning. 13 years old and getting education in medieval crime prevention. Practical skills. Transferable to any market anywhere. The price comparison shopper is exhausting. They're shopping 5 different stalls, comparing your prices to everyone else's. They'll tell you what everyone else charges. They'll use it to negotiate. You do the same to them. Jeffrey sells wool for 5.5 pence per yard, a customer tells you. Jeffrey's wool is lower quality, you respond. Mine is denser, warmer, better value. Thomas DeLacy sells linen for 9 pence per yard. Thomas DeLacy is in Beverly. You're here. I'm here. Convenience has value. This is the dance. They cite competitors. You explain why your prices are justified. They cite more competitors. You explain more justifications. Eventually you negotiate, compromise, complete sale. Or they leave, gamble either way. A customer buys 2 yards of wool for 6 pence per yard, 12 pence total. Standard sale. No drama, no negotiation, no theft attempt, no drunk confusion, no sob stories. This is the minority of transactions, maybe 30%, maybe. The other 70% involves some combination of haggling, manipulation, attempted fraud, or chaos. You miss the simple sales. You appreciate them. You wish every customer was like this. They're not. Medieval market is theater of commerce, performance art of transaction. You're actor playing role of merchant. Customers are actors playing roles of buyers. Everyone performs, everyone negotiates, everyone tries to maximize their position. It's exhausting. It's constant. It never stops. Evening approaches. You've survived another day. Your coin purse is heavy. You've made profit. You've avoided theft. You've passed guild inspections. You've managed difficult customers. You've maintained reputation. Success by medieval standards? Success by any standards? You pack up, load cart, pay Thomas, head home. The routine is established. The grind is normalized. This is your life now. Tomorrow, prepare that delivery to Leeds. 20 yards of fabric, Saturday deadline, 15 miles on foot. Again, your feet hurt just thinking about it. But business is business. Contracts are contracts. Your word is your bond. You'll deliver. You'll profit. You'll survive. Medieval Market Day, Week 4. The customers are challenging. The negotiations are intense. The competition is brutal. But you're holding your own. You're building business. You're making progress. Slow progress. Incremental progress. Frustrating progress. But progress. The merchants who survive aren't the ones who love the work. They're the ones who endure the work, who show up despite exhaustion, who negotiate despite frustration, who persist despite setbacks. You're learning to endure, to persist, to survive. That's the real skill. Everything else is secondary. Saturday morning, delivery day. You're walking to Leeds, again, with 20 yards of fabric. The cart is heavy. Your feet remember the last trip. They're protesting. You're ignoring them. Business is business. You left at dawn. It's now mid-morning. You've covered about 7 miles. 8 more to go. The November weather is cold. Not freezing yet, but cold enough that your breath is visible. Winter is coming. You're dreading market days in January, standing outside for 12 hours in snow. Absolutely terrible prospect. The fabric is wrapped carefully, weather protected. If it gets wet or damaged, you lose profit. You lose reputation. You lose the customer. This delivery matters. You're thinking about expansion. 4 weeks of successful market days, consistent profit. You're accumulating capital. Maybe you could hire another apprentice, expand inventory, get a better stall position, grow the business. Or maybe you save the money, build reserves, prepare for bad months, for winter, for plague you don't know is coming but is definitely coming, for economic downturns, for disasters. Growth versus security, medieval business dilemma. Every merchant faces it. Some grow aggressively. Some fail spectacularly. Some grow conservatively. Some survive. You're trying to find the balance. Guild records from 14th century York show that approximately 40% of new merchants fail within 5 years. 40%. The survival rate is 60% if you make it past year 5. You're in year 3. Still dangerous territory. You're being careful. Very careful. No massive risks. No aggressive expansion. Steady, sustainable growth. Boring strategy. Effective strategy. Probably. You arrive in Leeds. Noon. The merchant is waiting. He inspects the fabric, counts the yards, verifies quality. Everything is correct. Everything is as agreed. He pays 105 pence, 8 shillings and 9 pence. You count carefully. Correct amount. Transaction complete. Delivery successful. Reputation maintained. This is how you build business relationships. Deliver what you promise. On time. Correct quality. No surprises. I'll need more next month, he says. Same arrangement? Repeat business. This is gold. This is stable income. This is the goal. Same arrangement? You agree? Let me know quantities. He nods. You've established relationship. Monthly bulk sales to Leeds. This is significant. This is business development. You're pleased. The walk was worth it. The sore feet are worth it. This is progress. You head back to York. Lighter cart. Just you and empty cart. Much easier. Still 15 miles. Still exhausting, but easier. The road is busy. Saturday market day in multiple towns. Merchants traveling, farmers transporting goods. You're part of the commercial network, the medieval economy in motion. You pass a merchant you recognize from York. He's heading to Leeds. Different business, same grind. You nod, he nods. Mutual understanding, mutual respect. You're both surviving the same system. Mid-afternoon, you stop to rest. Eat bread, drink water. Your feet are blistered. Again, same blisters from last week. Reopened. Painful. This is the cost of doing business. Literal physical cost. You're calculating profit. The Leeds delivery, 105 pence revenue. Cost was approximately 80 pence for the fabric. Delivery time cost 2 days of your labor. Net profit, maybe 20 pence after everything. 1 shilling and 8 pence. Not spectacular, but steady, repeatable, monthly. Add your regular Thursday market profits. 15 shillings last week, 8 shillings the week before. Varying amounts. Average, maybe 12 shillings per week. Multiply by 4 weeks. 48 shillings per month. £4 per month. Expenses. Rent is 3 shillings per month. Food for you and your wife, maybe 10 shillings per month. Thomas's wages, 1 shilling per month. Guild fees. Annual 10 shillings divided by 12 months is roughly 10 pence per month. Inventory purchases varies, but average maybe 20 shillings per month. Total expenses, approximately 34 shillings per month. Revenue 48 shillings minus expenses 34 shillings equals profit 14 shillings per month. Roughly £3 10 shillings per year. That's your profit margin. That's what you're building a business on. Medieval accounting is mental math. You're tracking everything in your head. No spreadsheets, no calculators, just memory and arithmetic. You're good at it. You have to be. Mistakes cost money. You resume walking. Final push. 5 miles to York. You're tired. Your feet hurt. Your back hurts. You're questioning your life choices. Again. But you're profitable. You're stable. You're growing. Slowly. Carefully, sustainably. This is medieval success. Not glamorous, not exciting, just persistent incremental progress toward long-term stability. You arrive home, evening. Your wife is pleased. The delivery went well. The customer paid. The relationship is established. This is good news. You collapse. Rest. Your feet definitely need rest. Maybe several days of rest. Unfortunately, Thursday is 4 days away. You'll be standing for 12 hours. Your feet will suffer. They always suffer. Medieval life is physical. Constant physical labor. Walking, standing, lifting, carrying. Your body is your primary tool. You maintain it as best you can. But wear and tear accumulates. You're 32 years old. You feel 50. Your back aches constantly. Your feet are permanently damaged. Your hands are rough from handling fabric. This is normal. Everyone your age looks old. Everyone feels old. Medieval aging is accelerated. Sunday. Rest day. Theoretically. Actually, you're preparing inventory for Thursday. Checking fabric. Measuring. Ensuring everything is regulation. The guild inspection trauma is real. You measure obsessively. 3 times minimum. 4 times for pieces you're uncertain about. Your wife helps. She's good at this. Better than you sometimes. She spots imperfections you miss. She's quality control. Unofficial business partner. Unpaid labor that makes everything work. Medieval women's work is invisible in official records, but essential. Your business exists because she manages the household, prepares food, maintains the workspace, helps with inventory, does accounting. Your partners. Even though legally she owns nothing, even though guild membership is only in your name, even though officially she doesn't exist as merchant, the reality is different. Your team. You succeed together or fail together. Monday through Wednesday. Preparation. Purchasing new inventory. You buy 5 pieces of wool from your usual supplier, 7 shillings total. You buy 3 pieces of linen, 6 shillings total. Total investment, 13 shillings. You need to sell for at least 19 shillings to profit, 50% markup, standard. You're also thinking about diversification. Maybe add some different goods, buttons, perhaps, thread, small notions that complement fabric, increase average transaction value. Customers buying fabric might buy thread, might buy needles, cross-selling opportunity. Or maybe focus on fabric exclusively. Build reputation as fabric specialist, quality over variety, different strategy, both valid. You're considering options. Thursday morning, market day, week 5. The routine is automatic now. Wake at 4, load cart. Arrive at 5, set up stall, open at 6. Sell until 6 evening. Pack up. Go home, count money, rest, repeat. You're efficient. You've optimized the process. Thomas knows his role. You know yours. The stall setup takes 15 minutes now. Used to take 30. Experience matters. The market opens. Customers arrive. You recognize faces now, regular customers, weekly browsers, The haggler who never buys, the drunk who thinks gray is blue, the sob-story negotiator. They're all here, every week, like clockwork. A new customer appears, well-dressed, wealthy. She's examining your fabric with professional eye. She knows quality. This is serious assessment. I need fabric for household, she says. Noble household probably. Rich household definitely. Quality linen. Quality wool. Bulk purchase. This is opportunity. Major opportunity. I have excellent linen, you say. You show her your best pieces. From local flax. Fine weave. Durable. She examines closely. Very closely. Checking thread count. Checking consistency. Checking for imperfections. She's more thorough than guild inspectors. This is acceptable quality, she says. High praise from someone clearly used to finest goods. How much for 10 yards? 10 yards of your best linen at 10 pence per yard is 100 pence, 8 shillings and 4 pence. Your cost was approximately 6 pence per yard, 60 pence total. Profit would be 40 pence, 3 shillings and 4 pence. 9 pence per yard for bulk, you offer. 90 pence total. 7 shillings and 6 pence. Still excellent profit. She doesn't haggle. Acceptable. I'll also need 15 yards of quality wool. 15 yards of wool at 6 pence per yard is 90 pence. 7 shillings and 6 pence. Cost was about 4 pence per yard. 60 pence. Profit 30 pence. 2 shillings and 6 pence. Total sale. 180 pence. 15 shillings. Total profit. Approximately 5 shillings and 10 pence. This is huge. This is your best single sale ever. For bulk purchase, I can do 8.5 pence per yard on linen and 5.5 pence per yard on wool, you offer. Total would be 167.5 pence, 13 shillings and 11.5 pence, round to 14 shillings even, still massive profit. Acceptable. She agrees. No negotiation, no argument, just acceptance. You measure everything carefully, very carefully. This is too important to make mistakes. 25 yards total. You cut precisely, fold neatly, present professionally. She pays 14 shillings, 168 pennies. You count 3 times, correct amount. I'll return monthly, she says. Same quality, same quantities. Monthly bulk sales to noble household. This is transformative. This is business breakthrough. This is why you maintain quality, why you follow regulations, why you build reputation. You're trying not to show excitement, professional demeanor, calm, but internally you're thrilled. This changes everything. Thomas witnessed this. His eyes are wide. 14 shillings, single transaction. He's learning what success looks like. The rest of market day is almost irrelevant. You've already made 14 shillings. Everything else is bonus. But you keep selling, keep working, keep building. By evening, total sales are approximately 22 shillings. Costs were about 13 shillings for inventory you sold. Profit, 9 shillings. Plus the 5 shillings and 10 pence from the noble household sale is already included in that. Either way, 9 shillings profit for 1 market day. 9 shillings. That's 3 weeks of rent. That's almost a month's food. That's significant capital. You're successful. Genuinely successful. 5 weeks in, building momentum, establishing relationships, growing business. Medieval market day. You've survived. You've thrived. You've built something sustainable. These were real merchants, real people, working markets across England, building businesses, supporting families, creating medieval economy one transaction at a time. They faced challenges you can't imagine. Competition, regulation, theft, violence, disease, economic instability, physical exhaustion, social limitations. They persisted anyway. They built anyway. They survived anyway. Your fictional merchant journey represents thousands of real merchants. Cloth merchants in York, wool traders in Leeds, market vendors across England. They worked, they struggled, they survived. Some thrived, some failed. Most just kept going, day after day, week after week, year after year. They deserve our remembrance. They built the commercial systems we inherited. They developed trade networks. They established quality standards. They created medieval economy that eventually evolved into modern commerce. Real people, real work, real lives. They've earned our respect. Let's talk about what happens when things go catastrophically wrong. Because 5 weeks of success doesn't guarantee week 6. Medieval business is precarious. One disaster, one mistake, one stroke of bad luck. Everything you've built can collapse. Week 6, Thursday morning. You're setting up your stall. Normal routine. Except you notice something. The market is quieter than usual. Fewer vendors, fewer customers. The atmosphere feels off. Agnes isn't at her usual spot. Agnes is always here. She's never missed a market day in the 3 years you've known her. Her stall is empty. Someone else has taken the space. You ask around. Agnes is sick. Fever. Severe fever. She's been sick for 3 days. Unable to work. Unable to bake. Her income has stopped. Her expenses haven't. This is the fear. This is what keeps you awake at night. Illness. Injury. Anything that prevents you from working. You have no income if you don't work. No safety net. No sick leave. No disability insurance. You work or you starve. Those are the options. Medieval labor is unforgiving. Your body is your capital. Damage it and you're finished. You're worried about Agnes. She's good neighbor, good person. She helped you when you were starting, gave you bread on credit, trusted you. You hope she recovers. You're also worried about yourself. Illness spreads. Markets are crowded. People touching merchandise. People breathing on each other. Disease transmission is constant. You don't understand. Germ theory won't be discovered for 500 years, but you understand that sick people make other people sick somehow. Bad air theory. Miasma. Wrong explanation. Right observation. You're careful. You avoid obviously sick customers. You wash your hands when possible. You don't share drinking vessels. Medieval disease prevention is limited, but you do what you can. The market opens. Sales are slow. Very slow. The crowd is smaller. People are nervous. When disease appears, people avoid crowds, avoid markets, stay home, safer, smarter. Bad for your business. You make a few small sales. 3 shillings by noon. Usually you've made 8 by now. This is terrible. You're watching your profit projections evaporate. The guild inspector appears. Brother William. He's checking everyone, making sure no obviously sick vendors are working. This is public health enforcement, medieval style, crude but necessary. He checks you. Are you feeling well? Yes, Brother William. No fever, no cough. He nods. Moves on. He's checking everyone. Several vendors are sent home. Possibly sick, possibly just tired. The guild is being cautious. Public health matters. Disease at market can spread to hundreds, thousands. The stakes are high. A customer approaches. She's coughing. Wet cough. Productive cough. She's clearly sick. She shouldn't be here. How much for the wool? She asks between coughs. You don't want her touching your merchandise. You don't want her near your stall. You're trying to be polite, professional, but you're also trying not to get sick. 6 pence per yard, you say. Keeping distance. Noticeable distance. She moves closer, examines the fabric, touches it, coughs on it. You're horrified. That fabric is now contaminated. Possibly. Probably. You're not selling that piece now. It's been coughed on. Nobody will buy it. She doesn't buy anything. Just contaminates your inventory and leaves. You're angry. You're scared. You remove that piece of wool from display. You'll try to air it out. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's not. You don't know. Medieval disease transmission is mysterious, terrifying, random. People get sick. Some die. Some recover. No clear pattern, no explanation, just fear and uncertainty. Mid-afternoon. You've made only 6 shillings. Terrible day. Worst day since you started. The crowd is too small. The fear is too high. People are staying home. You're thinking about Agnes, hoping she recovers, hoping you don't get sick, hoping this passes quickly. Thomas is nervous, 13 years old. He's scared. You can see it. Disease scares everyone, especially young people. Mortality rates for infectious diseases are brutal. Young people die. Old people die. Everyone dies. Being healthy today doesn't guarantee tomorrow. We'll be fine, you tell him, confident tone, not feeling confident. But he needs reassurance. You pack up early, 5 o'clock. Usually you stay until 6, but the market is dead. No point staying. No customers, no sales, just wasted time. You head home. 6 shillings revenue. Maybe 3 shillings after costs. 3 shillings profit for 12 hours of work. Terrible. Unsustainable. 1 bad week is manageable. Multiple bad weeks is crisis. You're worried. Genuinely worried. Your reserves are limited. You've saved some money. Maybe £4 total. That's enough for maybe 3 months of expenses if income stops completely. 3 months. Then you're bankrupt. Then you're destitute. Then you're cooked. Medieval financial security is thin. Very thin. A few bad months. A serious illness. A major expense. Any of these can destroy you. Friday. You visit Agnes. She's worse. Much worse. High fever. Delirium. Her family is caring for her. A neighbor woman experienced with sickness is helping. Medieval healthcare is community-based. Neighbors help, family helps. Professional medical care is for rich people. Everyone else relies on community. The neighbor woman is grim. The fever hasn't broken. 3 days now. If it doesn't break soon. She doesn't finish. Doesn't need to. You understand. Prolonged high fever is often fatal. The body can only endure so much. Agnes's husband is devastated. No income. Medical expenses, herbs, tonics, the neighbor woman's time. Expenses are mounting. Income is 0. Their savings are depleting. Fast. You give him 2 shillings. You can't really afford it. But Agnes helped you. Community helps community. This is how medieval social safety net works. No government programs. No insurance. Just neighbors helping neighbors. Sometimes he's grateful. Nearly cries. 2 shillings matters. It's food. It's rent. It's survival for another week. You leave. You're shaken. Agnes might die. She's 40 years old. Strong, healthy normally. But fever doesn't care. Disease doesn't discriminate. Medieval mortality is random, cruel, constant. You're scared. For Agnes. For yourself. For everyone. Disease is the ultimate threat. The unstoppable force. You can't negotiate with it, can't outwork it, can't escape it. You just endure. Hope, pray, survive or don't. Saturday. Sunday. You're preparing for Thursday market. Assuming there is a market. Assuming you're healthy. Assuming the city doesn't close markets due to disease outbreak. Lots of assumptions. You're checking yourself constantly. Any fever? Any cough? Any symptoms? You're paranoid. Everyone is paranoid. This is rational paranoia. Disease is real threat. Your wife is worried. She's watching you. Watching Thomas. Watching for symptoms. We're all watching each other. Waiting to see who gets sick next. Medieval disease outbreak is psychological warfare. The fear is as damaging as the disease sometimes. People avoid markets, avoid churches, avoid crowds. Economic activity stops. Commerce collapses. Everyone suffers. Monday. Agnes died. The news arrives morning. She died Sunday night. The fever never broke. Her body gave out. She's gone. You're devastated. She was good person. Good neighbor. She didn't deserve this. But medieval death doesn't care about deserve. 40% of people don't reach age 40. Agnes was 42. She beat the average. Barely. The funeral is Tuesday. You attend. Many merchants attend. She was well known, well liked. The church is full. Her husband is broken. Their young ones are crying. They've lost their mother, lost their income, lost their future security. Medieval death destroys families economically and emotionally. Agnes was the baker, the income source. Now there's no income. The husband doesn't know baking. The young ones are too young to work professionally. Their economic foundation is gone. The community will help. Somewhat. People will give charity. Buy from the husband if he tries to continue the business. Support the family. For a while. But charity is limited. Eventually the family will have to adapt or fail. You're thinking about your own mortality. You're 32. Statistically, you have maybe 15 years left. Maybe, if you're lucky. If disease doesn't take you. If injury doesn't kill you. If violence doesn't find you. If random chance doesn't destroy you. Your wife is 28. Similar odds. You've been married 7 years. You might have 10 years together. Might have 20 if you're extraordinarily fortunate. Might have 1 year if luck turns bad. You don't talk about this. Everyone knows. Everyone thinks about it. Nobody discusses it. What's the point? You can't change it. You can only live with the uncertainty. Thursday, market day. Week 7. You're here. You're healthy. You're working. Agnes's stall is occupied by a new baker. Business continues. Life continues. Death changes individual circumstances but doesn't stop the system. The market is still quiet. Fear lingers. People are cautious. Sales are slow. You make 8 shillings, better than last week. Still below normal. The disease fear is suppressing commerce. You're watching the new baker. Young man. Maybe 25. He's trying. He's nervous. He doesn't have Agnes's reputation. Doesn't have her customer relationships. He's starting from scratch. Building trust. Building business. The same grind you're doing. You buy bread from him. 2 pence. Supporting new merchant. Building relationship. This is community. This is how markets work. Established merchants help new merchants. Sometimes, when they can, when it serves mutual interest. Medieval commerce is relationships, networks, reputation. Capital matters, quality matters, but relationships matter most. The merchants who survive are the ones who build networks, who help others, who earn trust, who maintain reputation. You're building this, slowly. 5 weeks of success. 1 terrible week of disease fear. 1 funeral. But you're still here, still working, still building. Agnes's death is reminder. Medieval life is fragile. Business is fragile. Everything is temporary. Disease can end you. Violence can end you. Accident can end you. Economic collapse can end you. Randomness can end you. You work anyway. You build anyway. You persist anyway. Because what else is there? Giving up means certain failure. Working means possible success. Possible survival. The choice is obvious even when the outcome is uncertain. You're thinking about expansion again. Different context now. After death. After fear. Expansion feels frivolous, risky, dangerous. Maybe consolidation is better. Maybe security is better. Maybe survival is better than growth. Or maybe expansion is how you survive. More income streams, more customers, more resilience. If one income source fails, others remain. Diversification as survival strategy. You're not sure. You're thinking, calculating, worrying, planning, adapting. This is medieval business. Constant adaptation to changing circumstances. Constant recalibration. Constant survival calculations. The market continues. Sales continue. Life continues, despite death, despite disease, despite fear, despite uncertainty. Medieval people endured what we can't imagine. Constant death, constant disease, constant uncertainty. No antibiotics, no vaccines, no safety nets. Just community support and personal resilience and hope and prayer. They persisted anyway. They built anyway. They created anyway. They survived anyway. We inherited their resilience, their systems, their hard-won knowledge purchased with countless deaths and endless suffering. Agnes was real. Not literally, she's fictional in this story, but she represents thousands of real medieval merchants who died young, who worked hard, who built businesses, who supported families, who contributed to their communities, who died anyway, who were forgotten anyway. They deserve better than to be forgotten. They deserve our remembrance. They endured so we could eventually learn better. They've earned our gratitude. Welcome to the end of our journey through medieval market day. We've covered 7 weeks of merchant life in 1345 York. The grind, the profit, the competition, the regulations, the customers, the threats, the death, all of it. Let's recap everything so you understand exactly what medieval market day entailed. Because this wasn't just shopping. This was economic survival. This was community. This was the foundation of medieval commerce. This was how England functioned. First, the basics of what you were doing. You were a cloth merchant, middleman. You bought fabric wholesale from weavers and processors. You marked it up. You sold it retail at Thursday Market in York. Your profit was the difference. Simple concept, brutal execution. Your inventory: wool, linen, occasionally silk, Yorkshire wool from local sheep, linen from local flax, silk from Italy via complex trade networks. You carried 15 to 20 pieces of fabric to market weekly. Each piece was 2 to 5 yards. Total inventory value, maybe 20 to 30 shillings. That's your entire business capital on a wooden cart. Your workspace: a wooden stall in Pavement Square. 3rd row, decent location, near the bread vendors, which meant foot traffic. You rented this position from the city. The guild controlled assignments. Good positions went to established merchants with good reputations. You earned your spot. You maintained it by following rules and avoiding violations. Your schedule: every Thursday, dawn to dusk, 12 to 14 hours standing, selling, negotiating, watching for thieves, managing inventory. No breaks, no bathroom access really, no lunch hour, just constant vigilance and constant hustle. Your profit: 10 to 15 shillings per week on average. Good weeks hit 20 shillings, bad weeks dropped to 3 shillings. Week 6, disease week, was catastrophic. Week 5, noble customer week, was exceptional. Average across 7 weeks, approximately 12 shillings per week profit. Annual projection: 12 shillings per week times 50 weeks. Allowing 2 weeks for illness or disasters equals 600 shillings. That's £30 annual profit. Subtract unexpected expenses, medical costs, repairs, emergencies, and you're looking at maybe £25 actual profit. That's your annual income. That's what you're building a life on. Now the challenges, what was trying to destroy you constantly. Competition was relentless. Robert next door selling cheaper fabric, Geoffrey from Leeds buying bulk, Simon having public arguments, Agnes baking bread, every merchant fighting for the same limited customer spending money. You competed on quality, reputation, relationships, and price, mostly price. Price competition was brutal. Regulations were everywhere. Guild standards for fabric width, exactly 36 inches, measured precisely, no exceptions. Weight requirements for goods sold by weight. Quality standards enforced by inspectors. Pricing minimums to prevent destructive competition. You followed all of it. Brother William inspected regularly. Violations meant fines, confiscation, public humiliation, reputation damage. You passed inspections. Every time. This was critical. Theft was constant. Pickpockets, working crowds, organized theft rings with lookouts, customers attempting grab and run, drunk people grabbing merchandise and wandering off. You watched everything. You stopped attempts. You protected inventory. One major theft could wipe out a week's profit. You couldn't afford losses. Customers were challenging. The haggler who never bought, the drunk who thought gray was blue, the sob story negotiator, the coin clipper, the bulk buyer demanding wholesale prices. The price comparison shopper citing every competitor. You managed all of them, negotiated, maintained professionalism, made sales when possible, protected margins always. Weather threatened constantly, rain destroyed fabric, winter suppressed sales, cold made standing outside miserable. You had no control over weather. You adapted, you protected inventory. You endured physical discomfort. You showed up anyway. Disease was the ultimate threat. Agnes died. Fever killed her in 4 days. She was 42, healthy before she got sick, dead within a week. This was normal. This was expected. This was terrifying. You had no protection, no immunity, no treatment, just fear and hope and luck. Economic instability lurked. One bad month could destroy you. One major expense could bankrupt you. Your reserves were maybe £4. That's 3 months of survival if income stopped. After that, destitution. You lived close to the edge. Always. Everyone did. The relationships kept you alive. Your wife was invisible partner. She managed the household, helped with inventory, did quality control, provided accounting, made the business possible. She owned nothing legally. Guild membership was yours alone, but the business was partnership. She was essential. Thomas was your apprentice, 13 years old, learning the trade, watching, helping, making mistakes, growing. You paid him 4 pence per market day, roughly 1 shilling per month. He was investment, future merchant, future competition possibly. You taught him anyway. This was how knowledge transferred. This was how trade survived. Agnes was your neighbor. She gave you credit when you needed it. She supported you when you were starting. She was good person. She died. You gave her husband 2 shillings when she was sick. Community support. Mutual aid. This was medieval social safety net. Inadequate, but better than nothing. Brother William was guild inspector. He enforced regulations. He punished violations. He also recognized honest merchants. He validated quality work. You built relationship with him by following rules consistently. This was reputation building. This was long-term thinking. The noble household customer was transformation. Monthly bulk purchases, 14 shillings per month. Stable income. Premium prices. No haggling. This was success. This was what you worked toward. Reliable, high-value customers who trusted your quality. The Leeds merchant was repeat business. Monthly deliveries, stable income, relationship-based commerce. You walked 15 miles each way to deliver. You maintained quality. You honored commitments. This built trust. This created sustainable business. The economics determined everything. How the numbers actually worked. Revenue was variable. Great weeks, 22 shillings. Terrible weeks, 3 shillings. Average weeks, 12 shillings. Multiply by 50 weeks per year. 600 shillings revenue. £30. Costs were constant. Inventory purchases. Approximately 20 shillings per week. That's 1,000 shillings annually. £50. Wait, that's higher than revenue. That's wrong. Let me recalculate. You sold inventory for approximately 12 shillings profit per week. That's after cost of goods sold. So revenue was actually closer to 30 to 35 shillings per week. 1,500 to 1,750 shillings annually. 75 to 87 pounds annual revenue. Cost of goods sold. Approximately 20 shillings per week. 1,000 shillings annually. £50. Gross profit. 1,750 minus 1,000 equals 750 shillings, approximately 37 pounds gross profit. Operating expenses. Rent 3 shillings monthly equals 36 shillings annually. Thomas's wages 1 shilling monthly equals 12 shillings annually. Guild fees 10 shillings annually. Food and household approximately 120 shillings annually. Total operating expenses 178 shillings, approximately 9 pounds. Net profit 37 pounds gross minus 9 pounds operating equals 28 pounds net annual profit. That's your income, 28 pounds per year. That's what you live on. That's what you save. That's what you reinvest. That's everything. For context, a skilled laborer, carpenter, mason, skilled craftsman earned maybe 4 to 6 pence per day. Call it 5 pence average. That's approximately 30 pence per week, 150 pence per month, 1,800 pence per year. That's £7.5 annually. You're earning £28 annually. That's nearly 4 times a skilled laborer's wage. You're doing well. By medieval standards, by any standards for the era. But your risk is higher. Your capital investment is higher. Your responsibilities are higher. Your stress is higher. You're compensated for the additional burden. Mostly. Understanding the system helps. How medieval commerce actually functioned. Markets were regulated. The guild controlled quality standards. The city controlled locations. The crown taxed everything. This wasn't free market capitalism. This was heavily managed medieval commerce designed to prevent chaos and maintain order. The regulations protected consumers, honest weights, honest measures, quality standards, fraud, punishment. This built trust. Trust enabled commerce. Commerce enabled specialization. Specialization enabled economic growth. The system worked, imperfectly, but it worked. Reputation was currency, more valuable than silver sometimes. Merchants with good reputations got better positions, better customers, better terms, better everything. Merchants with bad reputations failed. Simon's public argument damaged his reputation. His business suffered. Reputation took years to build, moments to destroy. Community was infrastructure. Neighbors helped neighbors. Merchants helped merchants. You warned others about thieves. You supported Agnes when she was sick. Others supported you when you needed help. This was social safety net. Informal, unreliable, better than nothing. Credit existed. Agnes gave you bread on credit. You gave customers credit sometimes. The Leeds merchant paid on delivery. The noble customer paid immediately. Credit was trust formalized. Default on credit, and you destroyed relationships. Honored credit, and you built reputation. Networks mattered. You knew weavers who supplied fabric. You knew merchants in Leeds and Beverly. You knew guild inspectors. You knew regular customers. These networks were business infrastructure. More valuable than physical capital sometimes. Networks took years to build. You invested in relationships consistently. The skills you needed to survive were extensive. Fabric assessment came first. You could evaluate quality by touch, by sight, by weight. You knew good weaving from bad, consistent fabric from irregular. This was expertise. This was years of experience compressed into instant assessment. Negotiation was constant. You haggled constantly. You read people. You assessed wealth. You calculated maximum prices. You determined minimum acceptable prices. You found middle ground. You closed deals. This was art and science combined. Arithmetic happened in your head. You calculated prices mentally. You converted between pence and shillings constantly. 12 pence per shilling, 20 shillings per pound. You tracked inventory. You calculated profit margins. You projected cash flow. All in your head. No calculators, no spreadsheets, just mental math. Risk management guided every decision. You assessed which risks to take. Silk special orders, Leeds deliveries, new inventory purchases, credit extensions. Every decision was risk calculation. You got better at it. Experience taught you. Mistakes taught you faster. Vigilance protected everything. You watched for thieves constantly. You spotted patterns. You recognized threats. You protected inventory. 12 hours per day of sustained attention, exhausting but necessary. Endurance made it possible. Physical endurance to stand 12 hours, mental endurance to negotiate constantly, emotional endurance to handle difficult customers. Social endurance to maintain professionalism despite exhaustion. You developed all of it, gradually, painfully, successfully. Progress happened slowly. What changed and what didn't over centuries. Medieval markets eventually evolved into modern commerce. The regulations became consumer protection laws. The guild became trade associations and professional standards. The market stalls became shops and eventually online retail. The relationships became business networks and LinkedIn connections. The fundamentals didn't change. Buy low, sell high, build reputation, serve customers, manage risk, adapt to circumstances. These were true in 1345. These are true today. Commerce is commerce across centuries. What changed? Technology improved. Transportation got faster. Communication got easier. Record-keeping got better. Disease became treatable. Life expectancy increased. Economic stability improved. Safety nets developed. Opportunity expanded. What didn't change? Competition, risk, uncertainty, grind, customers who haggle, regulations to follow, reputation to protect, relationships to build, work to endure, persistence required. Medieval merchants like you, fictional but representative of thousands of real merchants, built the foundation. They developed commercial practices. They established quality standards. They created trust systems. They proved commerce could work at scale. They did this without modern tools, without technology, without safety nets, without security. They did it anyway. They persisted. They adapted. They survived. Some thrived. Most just kept going. That was enough. What we owe them matters. Be grateful you live now. Modern commerce is easier, safer, more stable, more fair, mostly. You have consumer protections. You have safety regulations. You have legal recourse. You have healthcare. You have education. You have opportunities medieval merchants couldn't imagine. Be grateful for antibiotics. Agnes died from fever. Today, she'd get antibiotics. She'd recover in days. She'd live decades longer. Medieval mortality was brutal. We've fixed much of it. Not all, but much. Be grateful for economic stability. Your business can fail, but you won't starve. Social safety nets exist. Imperfect, insufficient sometimes, but better than nothing. Better than medieval community charity that ran out quickly. Be grateful for education. Thomas learned by watching, by doing, by making mistakes. You can learn from books, from schools, from structured programs. Knowledge is accessible. This is transformation. Be grateful for mobility. You walked 15 miles to Leeds, repeatedly. Today you drive 30 minutes, easy. Medieval transportation was walking, just walking, forever. Your feet would never recover. Medieval merchants endured hardship we can't comprehend. They worked harder. They risked more. They died younger. They suffered constantly. They persisted anyway. They built anyway. They created the commercial systems we inherited and improved. They deserve our remembrance. They've earned our respect. They endured so we could eventually learn better. We stand on their suffering, on their persistence, on their stubborn refusal to quit despite impossible circumstances. Real people, real work, real lives, real deaths. They mattered. They matter now. They deserve better than to be forgotten. Final thoughts as we close. You survived 7 weeks as medieval cloth merchant. You made profit. You built relationships. You established reputation. You endured physical hardship. You navigated regulations. You competed successfully. You witnessed death. You kept going. This is medieval commerce. This is economic history. This is how England functioned. This is how ordinary people survived. This is reality, unglamorous, exhausting, dangerous, occasionally profitable. Mostly just grinding persistence toward uncertain future. But you made it work, week after week, sale after sale, customer after customer, inspection after inspection. You showed up, you worked, you survived. That's the story. That's medieval market day. 7 weeks in 1345 York, representative of thousands of merchants across hundreds of years. Their story, your story. Our shared history. They tried, with limited tools, limited knowledge, limited resources, unlimited determination. They built commercial systems that eventually evolved into modern economy. They deserve credit. They've earned our gratitude. The fire is dimming now. Our journey through medieval market day is complete. You've seen the reality, the grind, the profit, the risk, the community, the death, the persistence, all of it. These were real people facing real challenges with real courage. They worked markets across England. They supported families. They built businesses. They survived. They mattered. Thank them. Remember them. Honor their memory by appreciating how far we've come and recognizing how much they sacrificed so we could build something better. Until next time, traveler. The campfire is always lit. The stories continue. The history remains, waiting to be remembered.